seat. I'm the voice that pounds to a ruthless beat.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Welcome to Stallion Speaks, baby. Can you feel it in the air tonight? Because we are a month away. Yes, the calendar says August 2nd, but guys, we are just a month away from September 4th when the Miami Hurricanes take the field to beat the crap out of the Stanford Cardinal out there in Palo Alto. But on the 4th, which is 2 days from today, our beloved Miami Hurricanes start fall camp, and the wait is over. 9 grueling months. It feels like longer, maybe even less. But honestly, guys, I am excited as hell to talk some Hurricanes football with you guys. Again, I'm going to have the link up there to give people some 5 minutes. Got a special guest co-host. He's not always on, but when he's on and he wants to be on, I love to give him the mic. You know him as well. He's a personal friend and favorite, and hopefully you'll be catching his stuff again as you've supported him throughout the years and so forth. But we'll get him on here in a second. But that being said, first and foremost, want to just give some love to the 194 subscribers, over 20,000 views. Keep punching that like button and sharing the cause so we can gain others to join it. Also, as always, got a preference. The views and opinions of this program are not affiliated with those of any other organization. These are solely the Italian Stallions views, as well as his guest co-hosts and audience members. Also, as I mentioned, we'll join that show by clicking that link in the chat box. We'll give you 5 minutes to speak your piece, or you can just comment in the chat box if you don't feel like coming on. And as I said, smash that like button and share us, baby. Lot to get to, but let's get to that Stallion rant more than anything because I got a lot to talk about. So I don't know how true this is, but I have heard, and if anybody's not been keeping up with it, is that they are now toying with the idea with a 5th year for anybody that was class of 2022 who was not drafted, having an opportunity to come back and play football. Now, I don't know how that falls for our beloved Canes if they wanted to come back, if they're even in football shape and all that. I mean, we've got some young studs there, and maybe they've just outgrown and need to go somewhere else. The transfer portal, I've noticed it with basketball, but the truth of the matter is that I heard that Tommy Castellanos, yes, everybody's favorite midget, could be back at Florida State. And you know what? I'm all for it. I want to see Marquise Lightfoot and Justin Scott and the whole band bury his ass in the middle of Hard Rock Stadium or whatever. So come on down, Castellanos. I would love to just see us whip your ass. It would be 50-0 as it'd be maybe 50-10 as opposed to the 50-0 that we're going to give it to you guys come October 17th or whenever that game is going to be played in October. I know it's after that dreaded bye week, but I'd like to think that we've gotten better, guys, and we're not going to be worrying about bye weeks. We don't need to be worried about this. We just need to let these boys eat and remember the heartache they felt losing the heartbreaker they did to Indiana more than anything. And I hope that we take care of damn business is what I'm hoping for more than anything. But that being said, a couple other things I want to talk about. Lane Kiffin a couple weeks ago on SEC Media Days basically predicted he was going to win the national championship. Lane, I got news for you, man. Those inmates that you have gotten in there, if you all actually get 10 wins, I will be shocked. Honestly, I see y'all losing maybe even to Clemson right off the bat, and then the wheels will really fall off when A&M buries your ass for the 2nd straight year with what they got going on. I mean, I'm not saying A&M's going to be back there, but Lane Kiffin talking all this stuff. You have a quarterback for a head case that might have a sprained pinky by next week who may want to sit out because he's not getting up enough money. Honestly, I mean, what a dumpster fire. And LSU could prove me wrong. But at the same time, I have nothing against Lane, the actual play caller, but Lane, the recruiter, Lane making sure that everybody's doing good, it might take a minute. And LSU has paid a ton of money for this. And so we'll see what happens. And as far as the Big Ten goes, I can't believe that we have 3 national champions the last 3 years, whether you like them or not. Michigan, then Ohio State, and then Indiana, obviously at our expense, even though that should be our national title. It's here nor there. But what I'm getting at is you guys are running college football, and to an extent, you just won one in basketball as well. And even though Michigan's lost their coach to the Mavericks, the truth of the matter was Dusty May was building some type of a dynasty over there in Michigan. And why are you letting the SEC live rent free in your all's heads? Okay. I mean, Cignati was talking about it. Brett Bielema, who once upon a time coached in the SEC, was talking about, oh, they're done and Sankey. And I'm like, dude, talk about your team. Talk about your conference. You guys are technically on top. Why the hell are you giving the SEC any free media more than they already have, man? You got ESPN going on them all the time, whether it's on actual college football shows or just regular talk shows in general. Pat McAfee devoted a whole day, which he should. I mean, SEC does drive the numbers. ESPN paid a hell of a lot of money for it. But damn, Big Ten, you're just helping out the cause to watch SEC football and not promote what you do with that sorry deal with CBS, whatever Fox uses you, Amazon Prime, NBC, PBS, whatever you guys are on. Honestly, at this point, still a boring brand of football. It is. I mean, if I want to take a nap on a Saturday afternoon, you turn that crap on, honestly. But lo and behold, thank God we got our Canes, baby. We got our Canes. And I want to bring on my special guest co-host. Let me tell you this, man. This is my brother now for almost 10 years. He has supported me as I've changed from platforms from Facebook Live to this. And he's got a great thing going with the U-Talk channel with Devin Lloyd and the group. And I hope you support them as much as you support me. But let's bring him on. Let's give him an awesome welcome here to Stallion Speaks. As always, the one, the only, the great Larry Frank Jr. is in the house, baby.
Good.
What is good, sir? How are you doing?
Good, man. I kind of was little in my feelings today. Today is my dad's birthday. He passed almost 5 years ago next month, but today is his birthday. So I was kind of down. You know how that is. So I mean, the one thing I'll say, I know, Stallion, you still got both your mom and dad, and anybody, if you still got both of your parents, man, cherish them, because if anybody that's here in the chat, shouts out to everybody in the chat, you lose your mom, you lose your dad, whichever. When they're gone, they're gone. So
They are.
What's up, chat? So yeah, a little in my feelings today, but I'm good. I'm good, man. It's almost football season, and this is it. I mean, the end of this month, we got football. We got football for the next 7 months. So I'm feeling great, man. I'm feeling great.
Yep, thank God for indeed. And Larry, I was going to mention it, but I didn't want to. Happy heavenly birthday to him. I saw the post on social media today, and my thoughts are with you, brother, because I know that it's coming up on 5 years, and it never gets any easier, And you're right, I am blessed with my parents, and hopefully Miami does what I wanted them to do in January.
Yes.
Can they win me a national title with mom and dad still here? It would be amazing. It would be a dream come true. That's Absolutely. What I want for Christmas more than anything. I wanted it last year, but that being said, last year's team, it's crazy, Larry. It's been 23 years that we have been relevant, that they have been actually showing our games, getting ready. I mean, I'm watching it on the ACC network. They've been playing our bowl game run. They've even been playing the regular season games on ESPNU. It was like a Miami day the other day. And it's crazy how we changed. Last year was definitely a roller coaster. We started off great. Then there was this dip that was inexcusable. And then we really just pumped it up. And then we just ran out of gas at the end, And yeah. I just think that we are primed for something big. I really do. And I think this team has what we were maybe hoping last year's team had. And maybe that loss could have been the best thing that happened to us, because you look at the recruiting, brother, and we'll talk about it in a second. But what's your thoughts, brother, as we talk about this, man? And chat box, I'll get the link up there to give you all your time to speak your piece as well. So, yeah.
We talk about it all the time. Miami is either hated or loved. Thank you for all the prayers and all the well wishes, by the way, to the chat. Miami is either hated or loved, but one thing we got to say, Miami is needed. the NCAA needs Miami. And anytime Miami is good for college football. You think I'm lying? Go back to 2017 when we hit 10-0 before we had that 3-game slide, to end the season. And Miami got up to number 2 in the BCS. And I mean, everybody was just happy because Miami was back temporarily. It looked like Miami was going to crack the BCS. And anytime Miami would start off 4-0, 5-0, they get the hype and everything. They would want us to be good. And then in years past, Miami would fall off. But you can go back to 2 years ago with Cam Ward. They wanted us to get in. They wanted us to be good. We're not going to visit that again, but we know what happened there. And then last year, it seems like Miami, even with that midseason slide, they wrote us off. But when we got hot and won those 4 games and got into the playoffs and just went on our run, it's almost like everybody jumped on the Miami train. You saw Nick Saban. I mean, Nick Saban lobbied for Miami to get in. Nick Saban literally said that we would be the most dangerous team if we got in, and he was right. And listen, I mean, we can say what we want. Congratulations to Indiana. I've gotten that taste out of my mouth. Hey, they are the champions. They did what they had to do. They took advantage of our mistakes, but I will forever say Miami was the better team in Hard Rock for that national championship. We shot ourselves in the foot. And I just think that coming into this season, you can see the hype. You can see the excitement. I've never seen so many national media personalities and platforms picking Miami to be in the national championship. I don't remember getting this much favor since the glory days. So the opportunity is there, and the schedule favors us. And, we're going to do a show. I'm going to get with D to confirm, but pretty much we're going to highlight the offensive line because that seems to be the weak. I don't want to say the weak link, but the perceived weak link of this team. So I'm going to get with D to confirm, but I'm thinking we're going to talk about the O-line this upcoming Friday night on U-Talk. We're going to go position by position, go with the presumed starters, go with the backups, kind of break that down. Because we're lost in the sauce is Darian Mensah and Cooper Barcade coming in. We know Malley's coming back. You got all these other pieces. You got guys on the defensive side. But listen, if that offensive line can gel, and I think they will. I was initially worried, but then I started looking at the guys that are coming in. If that offensive line, and as I said before, and I'm going to say it here as well, you got 4 games before Clemson. As a former, I played offensive line, albeit in high school still, and I had to replace some big shoes. If you played high school ball, you replace big shoes at some point, regardless of what position you played. And what I can say from that experience, even though it was on a smaller level, is this. You're going to have some hiccups in the beginning, but once you get the kinks out, it's all go. It's all gas, as my guy Jacob Fatu in the WWE, all gas. And with Mirabal and with Mario, that's their specialty. If everybody else on the coaching staff handles what they're supposed to handle, and Mirabal and Mario collectively groom this offensive line like we think they can. I mean, they built it. They brought these guys in here. Miami's going to do some damage, some serious damage. Miami, I'm predicting it right now. Miami will win the ACC championship finally this year. They will get a first-round bye. It's ours. It's our time.
Yeah, no, I agree. And I didn't even know what you guys were going to be planning. I know you've been doing a show every other week with all the traveling both you and Dee have been doing. And I know Mel B's busy as well. Shout out to him. But I'm going to be honest with you. I was going to look at the position by position today, and we can talk about that offensive line. And realistically, watching those games again in chat box, like I said, I'll post that link here in a second because I want what you all have to say too to speak your piece. I'm going to give 5 minutes, but at the same time, we're going to talk about this and, take a look at this down here. Okay. We're excited about the group coming in, but if anybody has any thoughts that this is going to fall off anytime soon, look at the names down below. Miami for the first time, and I can't even remember when, we have 5 stars now committed to this class. And it all came together with Amir Sears Friday evening, not only reclassifying, but this guy said, no hat games, no BS. He did it right there at Dayland Mall at the Special Dick Sporting Goods that they have there, that big ass thing there at Dayland Mall in Miami. And he commits on the spot to Miami, the 5th 5-star in the class. And we ain't even done yet, guys. There could be some potential flips. I kind of have been privy to information that I'm not going to release, but all I'm just going to say is sit back, let us keep kicking ass, and it's going to all take care of itself. And these guys are recruiting, because here's what you got to think. And Larry, you know this more than anything. Iron sharpens iron, like Mario's been preaching. But here's the other thing, too. Do you really want to go up against these guys and think to yourself, you know what? Let me go play with them and let's just run this thing for 3 years and then go get paid in the NFL, because
Right.
I mean, that's what it's looking like. And they're all like, you're next. You need to come. You need to do this. And I want to read this quote, by the way. This was what Andrew Ivins said, by the way. And let me just tell you this. These are 247's numbers. ESPN can go kick rocks between you and me. Honestly, I have no idea how they have us rated as the number 8 class. I think it's disrespectful to all of the players. And you know, everybody should give the biggest middle finger. I think your shirt says what ESPN should get, man. I mean, honestly, as much as ESPN needs us, right? Yeah, that's for ESPN recruiting and Paul Biancardi or whoever the hell runs that or whatever. It's a joke. But you look at On3, you look at Rivals, you look at 247. Guys, listen to what Andrew Ivins said. On the influence of not only Malley already in the fold, but you already had Nick Lanier shut it down. And now you have Amir not only reclassifying, but jumping in. Canes fans, get excited about this, man. We have starved for this for years to be relevant. But this is what Andrew Ivins said. Every kid on every street, every kid in every park, they look up to Malachi Tony. They look up to Nick Lanier. They look up to Amir Sears. I think pretty soon every kid in the country is going to want to play for Miami. And maybe he meant more the state of Florida, you know, what we have. And basically it ain't even up to West Palm Beach. It's going up to Jacksonville with the kids that we've gone up there and taken from Georgia and Florida. That ain't Gator and Bulldog territory up there in Jacksonville. We're getting the dudes to come down. And the truth of the matter is I can't think that he's not off, because truth be told, there were kids hugging him. Malachi Tony, out of his busy day, came over, didn't want to steal the spotlight from him, gave him a bro hug, welcome to the group, and took off and didn't want to take from his moment. I've never seen that before, Larry, honestly, of how tight-knit. And Cam Ward, I mean, you mentioned Cam Ward from 2 years ago. Cam Ward was the best thing that ever happened to the University of Miami, because he's playing pitch and catch with these guys. He's working with Darian Mensah, you know, and you know, all that crap that was talked about at the ACC. I think Darian Mensah doesn't know anybody an explanation. He was basically tired of losing to Connecticut and everything else. He's the only reason why Duke even won that damn ACC championship against Virginia, him and Cooper Barkay. And you know what? They knew that they wanted to win a national championship. They've gone as far as they could with Duke, okay? And they wanted to come to a winner, and that's what they're doing, man, honestly. And you can't blame them for that. Honestly, you can't. But you look at these guys down here, and we ain't done yet. I mean, we're not done yet, even to the fullest extent, because, you know, there's chatter about DJ Jacobs. You know, yeah, he should have committed to Miami, but, you know, he's committed to Ohio State. I don't think that one's done yet.
I think he will flip.
I think he will too. Look at what's going on in the NFL right now. Ruben Bain Jr. and Akeem Messidor, they're saying these guys are NFL ready. When was the last time that we had guys that were said about that, Larry? We were actually criticized that when people like Sam Shields were like, who was coaching you? I mean, that's the difference now of what you have. And as much as we've criticized this coaching staff, there are some position coaches that have definitely made the development. And that's what we talked about. It's not just the recruiting, but it's the evaluating, the recruiting, and the developing. And when we got to the developing, the results speak for themselves. And, you know, Ohio State, yeah, they're going to put guys in the pros, but here's the truth of it. Other than wide receiver and maybe a Bosa brother, who has really left their mark in that's an Ohio State player? It certainly has not been quarterback. It's not been either tailbacks to an extent, you know, but realistically, other than wide receiver, and they've had some nice players over the years, but the proof is in the pudding. Ruben Bain and Akeem Messidor, and even C.J. Daniels, who was only there for 1 year, is turning heads, I hear, and he's going to make a team at this point. And he wasn't even a high draft pick.
I think you have to look at it like this. As far as flipping DJ Jacobs, I think at the end of this season, when the draft grades come out and the draft projections come out, especially because I'm seeing that I think it was Armando Blunt. Armando Blunt, as of right now, going into the season, is a projected top 15 pick.
Mm-hmm.
If he plays the way that I think he will play himself up into, I think, a top 5 spot.
Mm-hmm.
And he will follow Bain and Mesidor, and you will have your second consecutive year with a third consecutive member of the defensive line going pro in the first round.
Mm-hmm.
And yes, absolutely. Shouts out to Mr. Brock. Maui Noah and Daniels, they're doing their thing. And even with CC, him going, I think, 6th overall to the Giants. So that bodes well, especially with CC. You look at Jackson Cantwell coming in. Jackson
Oh.
Cantwell, I think, is going to take what CC did and take it to another level. Cantwell is actually bigger than what CC was. He's a little bit taller than CC. I think CC was 6'6" or 6'7", if I'm not mistaken. Cantwell is 6'8". So I mean, he's coming in bigger, and he's only
Mm-hmm.
going to get stronger and be more dominant, I think. So all these offensive linemen that are coming in, you got Ben Congdon, who's a backup guy, who we're going to get into that a little bit. I got him, challenging for that right guard spot. You just got guys right now that's going to be doing some serious damage. And listen, I've said it on You Talk. I'm gonna say it here. Everybody's talking about outside of Miami. They're talking about, well, the defense is going to fall off because Bain and Mesidor is gone. Bullshit. Because what's going to happen is you got Damon Wilson coming in, who I think you're not replacing Bain. I'm gonna say it again. You're not replacing Bain. Nobody replaces a Bain. But I do believe Damon Wilson will play just as good as Mesidor did. I think Mesidor, you will get Mesidor-like contributions from Damon Wilson. And I just think everybody else that's coming back on that D-line. I'm
Mm-hmm.
talking Moten. I'm talking Blunt. I'm talking Scott. I'm talking Lightfoot. I'm talking Hayden Lowe. All these other guys you got coming back, they're going to, as a unit, dominate. I think this defensive line may be more menacing than they were last year because it's going to be a menacing unit as a whole instead of just your guys off the edge.
I agree. No, I agree. Well, let's talk about it, by the way, in terms of let's talk about these position group and battles. And like I said, I'll put the link up there to bring some people on there. Where do you want to go first, Larry? Do we want to talk about our running back room? Do we want to go offense, defense? Because I got the numbers, I got their weights. I mean, where do
Whatever
you
you
want to
want to
go?
do,
So,
Stallion,
all right.
you run it however you want to do it. I'll follow
All
you.
right, well, let's talk about this. And I'm going to put the link up here in a second and so forth. So just bear with me 1 second, guys, because we're going to talk running back room. Because I'm going to tell you this: I love me some running backs, and here's the link coming in the chat box. So, like I said, I'll bring you on. Just give us a few minutes, and we'll give you 5 minutes to speak your piece of what you want to talk about. But let's talk about this running back room, guys. I mean, first and foremost, it starts with Mark Fletcher. He was the beast. We missed him at times when he was hurt. He has battled the loss of his father, but still, had that bad injury in the bowl game, took some time to recover. But truth be told, man, I mean, he played lights out like a beast. And again, that falls on Dimples for not running behind that big ass offensive line last year and just running it down Indiana's throat until they didn't want anymore. But, we finally figured it out a half too late, but that's here nor there. Hopefully this year you understand. Look at all these chess pieces you have to play with. I mean, you have Marty Brown, who, a lot of people forget, dude. Ohio State was trying to get us off the field. What does Mario do? He has waited. He's had Marty Brown. He'd been playing Pringle and Fletcher up to that point. Here comes a fresh Marty Brown, and he wears him down, gets that first down, gets the game clinching touchdown. And I mean, Marty Brown was a big contributor last year. Then you got Jordan Lyle, who was supposed to be the starter, had some problems, but that boy could have left. And what does he do? He comes back. Jared Pringle was almost out the door. He comes back. And then you got Javion Mallory, who looked outstanding for a true freshman. So you've got 5 studs. And we've not even mentioned Chris Wheatley Humphrey, who, great player, local kid. And it's like he's the Jarrett Payton in the room. Not that I'm comparing this group to that, but I've not seen our running back room as deep as I have since the days of Portis and McGahee and Quatrine Hill and Gore and Najee, those type of dudes. And each of them brings something to the table. And we haven't even gotten to the passing game yet of what Darian Mensah can do. I mean, Larry, talk about this running back room, brother, honestly.
You have your modern day version of that room that you named from the early 2000s, not by comparison of skill, but just by comparison of, a bunch of different skill sets that can come together. Mark Fletcher, we call Malachi baby Jesus. Mark Fletcher to me is baby Marshawn Lynch. I mean, that's basically between him. I got him more Marshawn. I had him a little bit as Derrick Henry, but I got him more as like a Marshawn Lynch. He can run you over. He can scoot through the gaps and go. He can catch out the back. He can do some of everything. And then when you need a change of pace or a switch up, you got Marty Brown to come in. And like I say, I think Jordan Lyle, he's going to have a little bit of a redemption story because he kind of fell a little bit back last year, with I think the injuries and whatever else was going on. So he's going to want to prove himself. Mm-hmm. This running back room to me, Stallion, is just so loaded that we should never struggle running the ball at any point this season, because at any point you call somebody's number, they get in, they get you the tough yards, you throw it out the backfield. You got multiple guys that got good hands that can catch out the backfield. Running back screens, we ought to be killing them on running back screens. Our wide receivers, they can block. So, I mean, at the end of the day, when it's all said and done, running back, and I mean, I know people outside of Miami are going to say, oh, you're just being a homer, but I'm just going to be honest. Miami has the best running back room in the country. You name me another team that is as deep and has as many guys who are capable starters. You think Alabama wouldn't want to have one of these guys in their starting rotation? You think LSU wouldn't want to have one of these guys in their starting rotation? I can name every school, and every school may have one dynamic running back. We've got 3 definite dynamic running backs in the with Fletcher and Marty Brown and Jordan Lyle, and I think pretty damn good ones with Pringle and Mallory. He's got a lot to prove as a true freshman coming in, but I think Mallory's going to do some damage as well. So listen, offensive line do their jobs and open up the holes and do their blocking assignments. Listen, I'm getting tongue-tied because I just can't even imagine how good we're going to be. And the last thing I'll say to that, they're going to get their yards because the defense is going to have to respect Mensah in the pass. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I dare an opposing defense. Okay, play it in the box. Play it in the box. Cheat up if you want. Have some one-on-one matchups and man coverage. Watch what's going to happen. Watch how you're going to get beat over the top. I dare you, any defense, to do it.
Exactly. And I'll throw something. You were naming teams. 2 of those guys, Ohio State thought they already had on their roster, Mark Fletcher and Jordan Lyle, who flipped late. Remember that. So, and those were guys, we were losing those battles. Now they're staying home, and kids want to follow in that footsteps because they're going to make some money. Yes. We're going to go to another position group, but Jay, I saw you jump on, brother. If you're ready, you were first. Chris Kane, I got you second. Brock, I got you third. And anybody else that jumps on, I will give you your time. But Jay, if you are ready, welcome to Stallion Speaks, brother. Brother, speak your piece.
What's going on, fellas, man? Hey, listen, it's been a while. I miss y'all. You know what I'm saying? Season coming back. I'm just getting off work. I saw, oh, man, Stallion is back. U-Talk is back. Hey, it's a redemption year this year. We coming for money. We taking all bets and we coming for money. Money line, everything. It's a redemption year this year. Right. I went down to the practice with my cousin because he used to play for UM. I'm going to just give you a little few notes. Armando Blunt is a fucking dog. Armando fucking Blunt is a fucking dog. Moten is a fucking dog. Jordan Lyle, to me, is a complete back. Like his lower body's like Saquon legs, bro. Like his lower body is crazy. Like it's really, really crazy. I will
God,
say for me,
yeah,
we got the best complete wide receiver room in the nation. We could beat you with anything. Speed. We could beat you with technicality. Josh Moore is going to be a breakout candidate this year. Dalen
Yep.
Upshaw is going to be a breakout candidate this year. I'm,
Yep.
I'm, I'm going to be real with you. I
yep,
think Ben Codman might be starting over Max Buchanan, bro.
Buchanan. Yep.
yeah,
I'm,
and
I'm,
I
I'm,
think
I'm.
so.
He's, he's. I don't think they thought he would have came in so well prepared as they thought he was. But bro, he's 6'7" guard. Guards
Six
aren't
eight.
supposed to be
Six
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 eight, six.
seven.
six six
Look,
eight three
look,
thirty, bro.
I
Six eight
got
three
the
thirty.
height. I got the height and the weight and their classes below. First, I started with the projected 5, but I have who's supposed to be in that mix because they like to go 8 to 9. But I mean, yeah, Ben Condon is 6'8", 330 pounds.
Ben is. I'm not gonna lie. Ben, listen. I'm gonna say it like this, and people on here might disagree with me. This team is this team receiving threat is better than Cam Ward receiving threat. And this
Mm-hmm.
team defensively is gonna be better than the team last year. Because it's
Yes.
like you can't double team nobody on the line. Because Armando Blunt, if you double team him, you got Wilson open. If you double team Wilson, you got Mondo open. You Lightfoot could go on the edge, Lightfoot could come inside. Then you got Moten. Then you got the backups behind that, Josh Quest Carter. The D line gonna be, listen. Jason Taylor's working.
Mm-hmm.
Damian Lewis is not getting enough credit for what he's doing with those D linemen, dog. I'm not gonna lie to you. Chase Smith will turn heads. Mark my word. Bobby Pruitt will turn heads. The light has came on for Bobby Pruitt. He's wearing number 4 now. The light has came on for Bobby Pruitt. I will say it's gonna be hard to take JJ Dunnigan off the field. It's gonna be real hard to take him off the field. That freshman has to be on the field. Damari Brown looked like an absolute stud. Absolute stud. You get what I'm
He's
saying? But
he's gonna truck people like a
no, he
linebacker
is.
when you come
He's
across
Yeah.
the middle. Woo! Oh
You're
my
gonna
God.
get lit
me
up.
personally. I think in the league, Damari Brown is a natural strong safety. He's a
Mm-hmm.
natural strong safety. They got Bryce. I heard he's switching to nickel. I didn't really want that to happen because I think you just leave him back there and let him catch his picks. But
Yes.
what I saw Corey Heatherman did last year with Keontae Scott, hey, I don't got nothing to say. Corey, you shut me up. You showed me what you showed me last year, so I trust your position. You get what I'm saying? But
Mhm.
a little name to remember. Look out for Booker Pickett Jr.
Yes,
Look
thank
Mm.
out for
you.
Booker Pickett Jr.
He's gotten big too. He's gotten
Yes.
some weight on him. Good weight. Good weight. So
And
yeah, they're not
OJ
losing their speed.
Frederick is a first round talent. Nothing
Yep.
less than a first round talent. Nothing less than a first round talent. Fellas, I'm not going to keep you up because I want to hear everybody else takes. I appreciate y'all coming back. You know what I'm saying? I hope we have a great season. I see us going 12-0. And I got a little game I'm circling at I think it's around November. And I think I'm going to go up there to Indiana and rock my Malachi Tony shirt because they can't fuck with us. They can't
Right.
fuck with us. Let's just
Right.
be
Right.
real. They can't fuck. It don't matter how much recruits, how much talent they come from the backyard. They can't fuck with us.
Mm-mm.
But I appreciate y'all
Jay,
for
I'm going
bringing
to tell
me
you
in.
this, man. That's free money. Jay, hold on one second. That's free money right there, baby. Make them a 15-point damn favorite. I don't care about weather. They don't want none of us, baby. They don't want none of us. We're going
It's
to
six
punch
and a
them right in the
half.
face.
It's 6.5 right now,
It's going
preseason.
down.
So
It's
you
going
know,
down because it was
yeah,
But
8. It was
yeah,
8.
yeah.
So yeah.
but quick question, fellas.
Go ahead.
Didn't they have us at the underdog last year when we opened up again versus them?
They
So what
always
the
do.
fuck difference
We
does it
weren't even
make?
supposed to. We weren't even supposed to be on the
The
field. They were
only
supposed to run us off the field.
the
I thought.
only difference here is the game is in South Bend, and I feel like this. They don't have, and I know they're saying they got a lot, but I don't think Notre Dame has as much coming back more than what Miami has. That has to have them such a decisive favorite over Miami. They should
God,
be 3 just because of home field. I could see -3 to them just because it's in South Bend. But this six and
God.
a half starting at 8, straight disrespect. And I feel like this. Bump it back up. You know how we do when we're a heavy dog. Bump it up.
Texas
Yep.
A&M is a harder field to play than South Bend.
Hell
Absolutely.
yeah.
Let's
Hell
just,
yeah.
and we went inside Texas. Listen, I'm not gonna argue with people. Mario shows up big games. fuck out of
All the
here.
time.
Mario
Yep.
shows up. You think Mario not gonna drill? These people can't fuck with us.
Yep.
They can't
Yep.
fuck. We bringing back our whole secondary, our entire secondary. Like
Yep.
let's just be real. Mensa is getting a whole offseason with all these receivers. Mensa's winning Heisman. I'm calling it here.
Absolutely.
Mensa was winning
Oh yeah.
Heisman.
I
Yeah.
put a hundred.
So
I put 100 on him already. I put 100
I
on
would
him
have.
with the Heisman.
I would
I
have.
did it. I did it.
The
guys,
numbers are there, guys, that we should average 30 points in the first half and then give all these backups the time to eat, and then they get their yards and touchdowns, honestly. We should be hanging 50 on everybody, honestly.
I'm say this and then I'm gonna go. Elijah Lofton lost weight. I'm gonna make y'all take that with a grain of salt, and you tell me what's gonna happen.
I think he's going to
Elijah
bump up.
Lofton lost weight. I'm gonna get on
Swiss Army knife.
Swiss
sinking
Army.
y'all brains a little bit, but he lost a little weight. So I'm gonna make y'all sink that in. I'm gonna be in the group chat. I'm gonna be in the chat. I'm gonna be listening out. I appreciate y'all. You feel me? Hope we have a great season and God bless.
Jay,
God
you
bless,
are
brother.
always welcome, brother. Thank you, brother. You take care, man. Thanks for coming on. Yeah, and let me tell you this, man. He touched on it because when we were talking about the running backs with Jordan Lyle, if you saw the team running back room picture, and Mallory and Marty Brown weren't even there for it for whatever reason, but I'll tell you this: Jordan Lyle's legs looked like two tree trunks, honestly.
Mhm.
And I mean, he's just a complete player. And then I was watching Marty Brown. He has cut his body into, maybe he came in a little heavy last year, different from North Dakota to here. But let me tell you this, man, he got a personal trainer and a coach, and the drills he was doing, if he's added speed to already the power that he brought back, I mean, you are looking at some dudes right here. All the O-line's got to do is just gel and knock the shit out of people, man. That's all they got to do. Just get out of the way and let your people work, honestly. And let's go to that. Let's go to that offensive line real quick, because truth be told, and I'm going to say one more thing, Larry, before I hand it over to you. Talking about Elijah Lofton, there was not a bigger loss in that national championship game, because as much flack that we all gave Elijah Lofton, and it was warranted because of whatever happened at the beginning of the season, that boy was coming on. And he was a big factor. And him getting hurt in that Ole Miss game is the reason why we don't mention the piece of shit that cost us in the game, that was letting 5'8" cornerbacks level the ball from his big-ass 6'5" body and had no business being out there. Punt safe, can't block.
Who I still say, funny how he
He's on
went
the
to
team.
Indiana. He went to Indiana. And I mean, I don't want to throw this accusation out, and I'm not going to say it, but y'all know what I'm thinking.
Oh, yeah.
How do you wind up going to the team that beat you in the national championship, and in the national championship, you just stand up and let some undersized defensive end just like, I think the guy that blocked the punt was surprised. He just got around him and put his hand up. Like how do I have easy access?
It was punt safe. I mean, and realistically, that touchdown was the difference in the game. As shitty as we played in that first half, you make that block, we win. We're going down there either running the clock out or hitting the winning field goal, whatever the scenario is, or something like that, honestly. I mean, it's just inexcusable. But Elijah Lofton, I think, is going to another guy, just like Jordan Lyle, that's got a lot to prove. He's been waiting patiently backstage. He's a friend of the show. He's my brother. I hope he's ready to talk, because I can't wait to hear the heat he's got to bring. He can talk about whatever position group he would like to talk about. And more than anything, let's bring him on. My guy, Chris Kane, is in the building, baby. How you doing?
He is.
Gentlemen, it's been a minute. What's good with you? What's good with you?
The band back together.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You see me?
Yeah.
Now, my question to you, gentlemen. There have been two Hall of Famers that's wearing this number that I have on. The number is number 6. The question is, which one is it?
Well, with that 6 in the Rose Bowl jersey, would that be Antrell Roll? Because Santana wasn't on that team, but
is that your final answer, Stallion?
it ain't. But I don't feel good about it. But I said Antrell Roll.
I'm going out on a limb. It's Antrell.
That's your final answer, Larry Frank?
That is my final answer.
I'll be mine.
And that's your. Well, let's see, shall we? 01 championship edition.
Of course.
Absolutely. So
there's a reason why I have this jersey on. Mind you, I done came early. I got some nice stuff in there too, Larry Frank. Because you know we was on Utah with Mr. Sugarfoot himself. You know my man Jerome Brown in there.
Oh yeah.
You know, you got.
I got Sean T
from the spot you was telling us where you was getting it from.
No, this is somebody else. This is somebody else.
Okay.
Yes. He just hooked up one of my homeboys down there where you at in Lafayette, Louisiana area. Kyron Lacey jersey, all purple. One of his favorite players.
My cousin.
We're gonna have to talk.
My late great cousin. Yeah.
Listen, we're gonna have to chat. We're gonna have to chop it up about that because I'm gonna tell you right now. He got that. And I got some more in here too. But anyway, back to the show, back to the matter at hand. It's the reason why I'm wearing this jersey. It's the reason why. And it's the reason why I'm wearing this one. And I specifically asked for this jersey with this patch on there. Because this was the last time that we held that trophy.
Damn right.
The trophy has changed since then. Okay. We were supposed to have it in 02, but we got robbed from it. But we righted that wrong last year, and we whooped their ass to make sure they didn't repeat. The same way they made sure we didn't repeat. Also winning bowl games, 2 bowl games in one season that nobody said that we couldn't win, that we haven't won in the last 10 years since 2016. So we scratched that off the list. Well, also, I believe 4-0 against the SEC. 2 against Florida. 5-0. Okay. I know it's 2 against Florida. I know it's Texas A&M.
You had A&M before Florida. You had A&M 2 against Florida.
Oh yeah. And then A&M again. And then Ole Miss. Okay, yeah. So okay, I wasn't tripping. Okay, thank you, Larry. Thank you.
Oh, no doubt.
Check this out. To the SEC homers that are out there, to your Georges, I really ain't got no beef with them. But to you Alabama motherfuckers, shut the fuck up talking to me. Okay? Because you piss poor bitches don't even know who the fuck y'all quarterback is going to be. And we're about to hit fall camp and you don't know who your quarterback is? When have y'all ever answer, anybody in the chat can please answer this. And on this panel, when have you ever heard, as long as Saban has been in Tuscaloosa, that they didn't know who the hell their quarterback was?
Listen,
Never.
Let me say this much on Alabama.
Never.
What a dumpster fire.
Alabama, this is a bold prediction, but I'm going to make it right here. Alabama's going to lose to Florida State, and Kalen DeBoer is going to get fired after an 8-4 season. Book it.
They might be deciding if it's going to be U-Haul or Mayflower that gets his ass out of there.
Exactly. and I'm going to tell you something. To bring it back to Miami, I want Florida State to beat Alabama. Here's why.
I do too.
When you look at Miami's schedule, the only real notable game is Notre Dame and Clemson.
That's it.
I need Clemson to handle business against LSU. I mean, even if they lose, they'll probably win everything else up to Miami. They'll be a one-loss team, probably top 25 when we play them. But I would also like Florida State to beat Alabama because if they do, they should win the rest of their games because they got a pretty easy schedule. Now, they do have SMU. That could be kind of antsy, but who knows? But if we got a ranked Clemson and a ranked Florida State, we're already going to have a ranked Notre Dame game.
Mm-hmm.
And
they'll be undefeated because they play nobody. But
well, the only possible is BYU because they go to Provo. That's the only possible L.
Yeah.
But if we get those 3 teams ranked, I expect Pitt to be ranked. Pitt, for some strange reason, is always ranked. I don't know why.
Yeah.
We'll beat the shit out of them. That'll give us 4 ranked teams. And now, you know what, James Franklin? It wouldn't hurt to get Georgia Tech ranked either. I'm saying all of this because this is why. if Miami goes into that ACC championship, and let's just say, and I'm just gonna play devil's advocate, they happen to stumble. Now I don't think it'll happen, but let's just we gotta have these conversations.
Yep.
You want to have a strong schedule to back you up to get you into the playoffs, because a lot of people say we don't need the ACC championship. I feel, you know what, we do need it. Yep. Give me the first round bye. Give me a top 4 seed. That's one less game we got to play.
Yep.
That's what I want.
Facts.
Right.
So let's hope these teams, for the sake of schedules, because I don't want a repeat of 2024. Because let's be real, a 10-win Miami team this year with the schedule, and I'm not counting Notre Dame here, but let's say Miami drops an ACC game, they don't get in the ACC championship, and they lose to Notre Dame.
It's gonna be tough.
It's a strong possibility Miami won't get into the dance.
Well,
right.
So I need these other teams to do what they got to do. Alabama's coming into the season ranked. You know what, Florida State? Let lightning strike wherever. Beat them. Do what you got to do. I actually want Florida State to be somewhat formidable, so when we bust their ass and embarrass them, it's going to make us look even all the more better.
And you know what? Tommy Castellanos might get his 6th year or whatever with this ruling. Let him. Honestly, we'll bury his ass in the middle of Hard Rock.
Absolutely.
Chris Kane, I got something for you. I want to bring something up to you, brother. In terms of the position battles, brother, which position group are you most excited about this upcoming season? Because I know you wore the number 6 jersey with Antrell Roll with the Rose Bowl, but is it the DBs? Because look at this room. I've got them underneath there, and I love that OJ Frederick is going by his actual name, Romanus, and I've got me being the nerd Batman fan I am, Roman Sionis, Romanus. I mean, I think that's just badass right there, dude.
Sound like a transformer to me.
He is, man, Romanus. So yeah, but who is it, man? What position group are you excited about when we start busting heads on Tuesday, baby?
Defense. Defense. One of the greatest that ever played it. E. Reed, boy, knock you off your feet, boy.
I got to pull a Chris Berman from Louisiana. Go ahead, continue.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
20 miles up the road from where I'm at right now.
Yes, sir. Yes,
and we got some DBs in that group, in that room from Louisiana, and you know that you've arrived when you got some guys from Louisiana, man, and Florida. Honestly.
One of the greatest 2-star defensive players ever. 2-star.
Yep.
2. That's it. And came there and dominated. Do you understand?
That's right. Started as a freshman. Started 4 years.
As a freshman.
Started 4 years.
17 people on that recruiting class, along with Reggie Wayne, who had already verbally committed to LSU, who said, let me take a trip to Miami. I ain't never seen a palm tree a day before in my life.
He sure didn't. Not coming off the West Bank, New Orleans. I could tell you that. Shouts out to Curtis Johnson, who came and got him.
And those are the ones that got them 2 guys right there.
Yep.
Ed Reed too. He said, get your grades up, and we'll talk about getting you a scholarship. Go to the University of Miami. And he kept his promise. And now we have a Hall of Famer and a future NFL Hall of Famer that came from the University of Miami. And Ed Reed could have came out in 2000, but he stayed because he wanted a ring, because he was the one that was the leader of that team. No disrespect to Coker. No disrespect. I'm sorry. You were a placeholder. That was Butch's team. This is called spade a fucking spade.
Listen, Ken Dorsey and Ed Reed were the co-head coaches of that team. Nobody can tell me.
They ran the offense and the defense. Larry Coker was just out there just
babysitting,
collecting a paycheck.
Paycheck.
That's it.
He's the one that was the parent that got them to the museum. He was the chaperone.
Yep.
That was it.
That's it.
They did the rest. Here's the thing. That defense that we have, you know what? Jacoby Thomas reminds me of? Jacoby Thomas, when I was watching, I was just now watching the game of Florida State and Miami.
God, he was a dog in that game. Jeez.
Oh my God. You know who he reminded me of, though? Who I wish we would have got? Jalen Ramsey.
Yeah.
Because that
He's a
motherfucker
bad boy.
was a dog.
Bad boy.
He grew up a Miami fan.
Yeah.
But Al Golden didn't pick him.
He didn't offer him.
Devontae Freeman. Dalvin Cook.
Didn't offer him.
Didn't offer him. You see what I'm saying?
Lamar Jackson.
Lamar Jackson. Geno Smith. Tutu Atwell.
I have no idea what the hell we were doing for all these years,
What-
guys.
what- Calvin Ridley.
It was the coach.
Jerry Jeudy.
Yeah.
Like, listen, you don't bring come on, man.
Amari Cooper.
Come on, man.
It hurts. It really hurts when you
It
name
really
the
does
guys
hurt.
that got away.
Yep.
Yeah. Because we had the lame fuckers that let them get away.
Yeah.
Yep.
You don't bring nobody with no goddamn raggedy ass ties to no daggone Carroll City. The Poker Breed Projects? Are you crazy? No, you have to be able to fit the culture. Mario knows the culture. We had to give Mario time in order to fit that culture. Now, one thing about it, I was crucial on him as well. But every year that Mario has been there, it has gotten better.
Yes.
Yeah.
Every year.
Yep.
From every fuck up that we had, that we couldn't take a knee and all this other kind of stuff, to now, well, damn, them boys lost, but they kept their whole recruiting class because everybody believed, everybody bought in, everybody seen what it was. Mario didn't come in saying, "Oh, we winning the national championship like Lane Kiffin is doing." Lame Kiffin, you raggedy fucker.
Who,
So
by the
anyway.
way, is running his mouth about Miami, man. Like, I don't know what he's. You know what? I know what it is.
You know-
I think he's still scoring because he didn't get the job when he wanted to come down here. Because he was
that's
running
what
his
it
mouth
is.
about Carson Beck last year when we got him, and he was running his mouth about if he was at Ole Miss that they would have beat Miami. Like, dude, what is your fascination with Miami?
Check this out. Let me because here's the thing. You know the type of person that I am, Larry Frank and Stallion. I know how it is, and I process that. And I said this before: the worst and most dangerous thing that you can let me do is process this shit some more.
Yeah.
So how in the hell are you going to sit here and talk about that you would have beat us when you tucked your tail and ran to LSU?
And took your
Even though
assistants with you and
And
players.
took your assistants with you. And mind you, that was your team that was on the field
It was.
that you built. That was your team. You had your lackey go ahead and take your place.
Yep.
But at the end of the day, it wouldn't have mattered if it would have been you on that field or if it was your lackey. Even though that was your team that was on that field, they represent you, right? So technically, what team beat your team, Lane Kiffin?
Yep. And we were battling the flu. We had guys battling the flu. We had a kicker that got stupid all of a sudden and couldn't make a damn kick in the domes for whatever reason. But literally, I mean, we should have won that game by a bigger margin. But we
should have won it by a landslide.
You're right.
Yeah,
We should have done it what
we did.
Indiana did to Oregon. But we won. That's all that matters.
Yeah.
And realistically, I'm going to go a step further, Larry. I think this goes back to that 2014 Alabama staff because, yes, Saban did make a promise to Monty Kiffin he would look out for Lane when Monty couldn't be there no more. But let's be real. The bond that Saban and Mario have or what have you is way tighter, and Lane can't handle that because Saban has kind of picked Mario to be like a successor.
I got friends and I got people that I know that's close to LSU, and what they're telling me from what they've heard is that Saban really had a lot to do with Lane going to LSU. Saban really talked him into going, and Saban used leaving LSU, going to the Dolphins, and then going to Bama. He regretted leaving LSU. So it came out basically that Saban basically advised Lane, like, look, you may never get another opportunity like this again. LSU is a place to be.
Yep.
Go do what you got to do and go be great. He said, you've hit your ceiling at Ole Miss, which he did.
Yep.
You know, LSU is just a different animal when it comes to recruiting. Now,
deeper pockets and a way more fertile recruiting ground.
$25 million roster budget right out the gate, not counting the NIL deals from all of the corporate sponsors and partners in the city.
Right. And the budget for any coach he wants either. So,
yes.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna tell you something right now. I know somebody got an NIL deal from Zatarans. I know somebody got one from Popeyes. I know someone got one from the Bouillon. Somebody got something from them.
I will give you now. I can tell you, Todd Graves, who is the founder of Raising Cane's, is an LSU graduate, and Todd Graves is heavily invested with the NIL program down here. He is buying players left and right.
You see what I'm saying? Yeah. But my whole thing is this: it's like, who does LSU really have to fight with? They're a bigger school. They have more money. I mean, as far as like recruiting, when he was at Ole Miss, he had to fight LSU, Georgia, Alabama, all these different teams.
Mississippi State too for a chance when the Pirates
right.
There. Yeah, yeah.
You know, but it's like you went there and you have a bigger recruiting. Now, will you be a problem in another maybe year or two? Possibly. Because one thing about it, Louisiana are not no slouches when it comes to football. That's a hotbed for talent as well, just as well as South Florida.
Top 5.
Okay. Yep. You know what I'm saying? They ain't no pushovers now. They ain't no lackeys over there.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
Let's just be honest. Let's just be honest now.
Preach. I will let somebody else tell it. Because they say I say it. They say I'm a homer, but preach.
No, brother. This is a northerner telling you this from I-95 North. I'm telling you.
Yeah.
They do more than eat etouffee. and they play some ball. They click clack down there with them helmets. They will knock and drag your ass out down there as well.
We eat rabbits and shit down here. We eat wildlife down here. So you already know we're crazy.
Guys, can we laugh about something too real quick? Can we laugh about something real quick in chat? You can chime in on this shit too. What about Brian Kelly being hired as an analyst? Who the hell wants to hear Pumbaa from the Lion King talk about shit? Honestly,
who hired him as an analyst?
I saw it somewhere. I have to look it up. You guys keep talking, but I'll look it up because I swear Brian Kelly got hired as an analyst by somebody. Like they feel sorry for these coaches, and they brought his sorry ass into something. I think it was SEC Network, to be honest with you.
Pop Warner team needed him on the staff to get them little kids to learn how to run, because that's the only level of coaching or analysts that he can do. I mean, good Lord, man.
Brian Kelly's a joke.
Yep. No,
he never should have left Notre Dame. He's an idiot because
he should have kept his ass.
It was CBS Sports, by the CBS Sports. Can you imagine? So he got.
Be watching CBS when I hope he's not on any games. If he's a studio analyst, because like I said, and I like CBS Sports, man. I like Clark Kellogg and who's my guy that used to play at Texas, man, with the bald head, man. What's his name? Big dude. I can't think of
I know who you're talking about.
Yeah. I like those guys, man. But if Brian Kelly's on the panel, man, no.
Can you imagine that bastard being on there, Pumbaa? I mean, I'm telling you. So, Chris Kane, I gotta get Brandon Brock on here because he's been waiting patiently. But real quick, brother, let me just ask you this: you're excited about the defense. I just got to ask you one thing. Are you at all concerned with the one group that really has not been talked about and I think has a lot to prove? But what about the linebackers? You know, they're the only group that was not rated the best position by position in the ACC. Every other position, because they did combine wide receiver and tight end, we are ranked 1, but we are considered to have the 8th best linebacking unit. What's your thoughts in terms of them? Are they going to be a weak link, or are they finally going to shine? Because that hurts my heart being a former linebacker, and we used to be linebacker U, in my opinion. So
you know what the funny thing is? I think that's bulletin board ammunition. They call us number 8. Prove them wrong.
Yep.
Prove them wrong. And so when I say all that to say, oh yeah, you're the best and everything else like that, as far as every other position group that we may have. But here's the thing. Even though you have that position, and they called you that, and they said that you're the best in that position group, you got to maintain that, partner. That ain't just word of mouth. You got to maintain that. So it's like a double-edged sword. but I think it works in our favor because those guys that's out there on Green Tree, they're dogs. They are rabid animals. They are rabid. And do you realize that we have five stars so far, and we've had more 5 stars in the last 5 years with Mario than we had in the last 11 years combined with Golden, Rick, and Diaz.
Yep.
Do y'all real? They only had 7, if I'm not mistaken. 7. Mario has 5 this year.
It's championship level recruiting, man. When you get teams that get those kind of 5 stars, that's what them big dogs in them big conferences, Bama, Ohio State.
And we ain't done yet. We ain't done yet.
No, we ain't done. No, we ain't nowhere near done.
I think we get 2 or 3 more.
We might get about 4 or 5 more because the way that things is going right now, from what I'm hearing, shit is about to get real out there in the Green Tree. But I promise you right now, listen, I'm gonna just say this and I'm gonna get ready to go because this is one of the rants that I got for the Alabamas that's out there and these podcasters that's on there sitting and talking. I ain't gonna say no names, but he knows who he is. For you to sit there and say that you're gonna meet us in the national championship this year and you're gonna beat our ass in Vegas, you have no idea the type of shit you done stirred up, partner.
Who said that shit?
He will remain nameless.
What team does he represent?
Huh?
What team does he represent?
The Alabama Crimson Tide.
Oh man,
that's garbage.
Let me tell you something.
That's somebody whose parents are siblings saying that bullshit. I don't believe that shit.
But here's the thing. My whole thing is this. You're saying that Malachi Tony is just a regular player. You're saying that basically he's just somebody that's just was there. He's okay or whatever. You're saying that you would think that Alabama would beat us in Atlanta if you played us again. Bullshit. Let me explain something to you and to all you LSU players that's fans that's out there. This ain't the Manny Diaz team that you actually saw whenever you actually went against them. This ain't the recyclable team jersey wearing Miami team that played you in Dallas for LSU. This ain't the same Miami team that went against you with De'Aaron King when we looked like the little Giants.
Yep.
This is a Mario Cristobal SEC is an SEC killer team. And if you think I'm bullshitting, look at the stats. You fuckers are owned by the ACC. All your heavy hitters got owned by the ACC. Facts. Texas A&M got their ass beat, okay? By us. First round at home, 115,000 people. Quiet. Next, the Big Ten, the Ohio State fuck-eyes that stole that damn championship from us back in 2002. We made sure you bastards did not repeat. And we made sure that Jeremiah Smith ate those words that he said, that if Miami was good, he would have joined. Motherfucker, we don't need you. How good are we now?
That's right.
We're good.
Huh?
He's all by himself.
Even though, I ain't gonna lie, even though if you hit that portal, we would grab your ass if you want to come home. But I'm just saying.
Hey, there was a reason that handler was taking him to the locker room because we were all trying to hug him after the game, saying, come on. And that handler was trying to bring him to the locker room after the game. We know that.
It's a reason why for a lot of other things, too. It's a reason why you had old Piss that came through there who actually thought that they was going to actually have a chance to come through there and beat us. But you threw your best shot and it still ain't worked. Mm-mm. See, one thing you need to understand that this team that actually went against Indiana and actually proved that they showed a better competition than so-called Alabama that played at this bowl game, mm-hmm. We may have lost by what 3-4 points?
It was
about 6 points. It was 6 points we lost by.
Yep.
But let me ask you, but for all the Alabama fans, let me ask y'all a question. How many points did y'all score against Indiana? Because
points that you give up against Alabama, against Indiana.
Right. And just for those Indiana fans that's out there, y'all will never smell a national championship again. I'm calling it. That was a once in a lifetime.
Pump your brakes. Their schedule is extremely favorable.
You think so?
I'm telling you, their schedule is favorable. We highlighted it the other week.
With that little demented Pee Wee Herman who goes there and beats those teams, he'll give him a shot.
That guy,
you know what?
He can call an offense. He's got a good quarterback.
You know what? I retract that statement. You know why I retract it? Because anybody that can sit up there and have 30-year-old people to play on a college football team, they should be able to beat some guys that they should be able to beat 18 and 19-year-olds in college football. So I retract that statement. But you know what I'm saying? I'll say that.
Looking at what they got the TCU, and I know Mr. Brock, that's his area. He can probably tell us about them. They got the TCU quarterback transfer. They got Nick Marsh. They got a couple of good defensive players, man. They
play for him. He'll coach them up. That's the one thing. I made that joke, Chris Kane, and I got to let you go because Brandon Brock's been waiting patiently. But I will leave it with this.
Oh yeah,
Cignati is that dude, and I've been giving him props all along. He's the type of guy that will come to your house, eat the dinner that was prepared for you, screw your wife, and drink your brandy on the way out. And he's done that to each and every one of those people. The only team he didn't do that to was us. And that motherfucker was nervous there at the end, by the way. He was nervous, and they didn't want none after the end there. They didn't want none of us.
He's there, Jimmy Johnson, dude. He's there, Jimmy Johnson. He's a modern-day Jimmy Johnson for Indiana.
All we just need is Jerry Jones to throw that money to get him out of there. That's all we need. But when you got Mark Cuban money, he'll stay as long as he wants because you got Mark Cuban money there. That's it. Right. So, yeah.
Before I get ready to leave, I'm gonna tell y'all like this. For everybody else, your asses is on the clock. Mm-hmm. From the womb to the tomb, it's all about the you. And I'm out this bitch.
You bet. Come back next week, brother. You're always welcome. Thank you. Brandon Brock, thank you for hanging with us, brother. You are on Stallion Speaks, brother. Speak your piece.
Hey, what's up, Stallion? What's up, Larry Frank? Man, it's been a minute. Been a good minute.
Been too long, brother. Too damn long, man. Too damn long.
I'm holding well, man. I ain't got position groups to talk about and all that. My only thing that I wanted to say is publicly, Chris Kane didn't want to mention no name, but I'm going to mention it. I'm ready to shut these SEC fans up because they ain't just hating on Miami. They wishing bad on Miami. Mm-hmm. Home run, piano man, the kangaroo black and them, all that, man. They talking so much noise about Miami. They Alabama fans, but they got Miami in their mouth more than they got Alabama in their mouth. And I'm like, man, can the season please start so that we can shut them up at least for a few months? They gonna get quiet. They gonna get quiet when Miami started. When Alabama started losing. Mm-hmm. They gonna get quiet then.
It could be right off the bat. I mean, it could be right off the bat, honestly. You know, I mean, I've got them losing at least 4 games. At least 4. I mean, if not 5, honestly. And they better watch out for damn Auburn with the new coach there, honestly, because he ain't playing around. He's a good coach. He is. So we saw what he did in South Florida. Auburn money. I mean, and Auburn ain't gonna take that shit laying down. Honestly, they're not. So yeah, but.
I'm not sure if they play the Florida Gators this year or not, but also Florida too. Florida got some talent on that defense. I'm telling you. And so if they're taking Florida lightly, man, they might end up being surprised this year. You know. Mm-hmm. But
what's your thoughts about Texas? Well, what's your thoughts about it? Is this Arch Manning bullshit going to be done, or what do you think? I mean, they paid enough for that receiver to help him out. They brought in a stud running back because they gave up on C.J. Baxter's injuries and everything. I mean, what's your thoughts on Texas? I mean, what are we going to learn about them that second week when they're hosting Ohio State 7:30 on ABC?
I mean, I'm gonna give them props on this knot right here. That defensive end, Colin Simmons. That boy is the real deal. I mean, I take that from him. That fool, that is hellacious. And so, if this is a year that he can be kind of like a game changer, type of player, they could be dangerous. This be his third year, his fourth year. I think it'll be his
Uh,
third.
Fourth year, because he was part of that group. We were trying to get him with the Ruben Bain group and all them or whatever, if I'm not mistaken. So he's in his fourth year. So yeah.
Or you know what I'm saying? I mean, he got all that experience. So if he's a game changer type, player like that, that he could make Texas formidable. But I just think right now they just putting too much hype on them. They should not be no number two in the country or whatever that is they ranked, and somebody got them ranked number two. I'm like, why are y'all putting all this hype on Texas like this? And they didn't even make the playoff last year. And then Steve Sarkisian said the most bitch shit that you can say as a head coach at
He
SEC
did.
a day. When you want to sit up here and talk about if we didn't play Ohio State last, I'm like, bro, you don't say that shit as a coach. What the fuck you talking about? If we didn't play Ohio State last year, we would have been a 2-loss team and would have made it to the playoffs. I was like, man, dude, get this dude out of here.
Dude, the same Gator team that we held to like under 100 yards. I mean, they were just going crazy on their ass. I mean, Texas was garbage. Honestly, their best win was A&M, and realistically, A&M has always had trouble with Texas. You know what I mean? I mean, we faced a better A&M team than what Texas got that night of the Friday after Thanksgiving.
In my opinion, they're just setting it up because they're just trying to run the narrative of Arch being a top pick. And listen, I looked at their schedule. I mean, they got to go to Baton Rouge to play LSU. They got A&M. They got Tennessee early in the season. To me, and you got Ohio State out of conference. They're not going 12-0. It ain't happening. And they better be careful. They better be very careful with all of the shit they're talking, because
they better watch out for Oklahoma, to be honest.
Oklahoma too, the Red River Rivalry. I forgot about them as well.
If Mateer is healthy,
he's healthy.
I mean, yeah,
he's healthy. He's healthy.
It's a good quarterback. It's a good quarterback. I wanted to ask you this, Brandon. Which position group are you most looking forward to? We've been talking about the offensive line, and I want to highlight something Chris Kane said that's so true. I unfortunately was at that JV game where Alabama ran us off the field, and I'm going to tell you this. I know that when you looked at Miami's roster, they said this guy was 300 pounds and this guy was this and all that. But let me tell you this. Alabama's 300 pounds was different from what our 300 pounds was then. Well, guess what? The 300-pound hog mollies that you seen down there, unproven. But look at these dudes, man. They're freshmen, redshirt freshmen, sophomores. I mean, they just need to prove themselves. But they're built trucks, all these guys.
A team won't be able to handle them a whole game. You ain't gonna be able to handle that all their size throughout an entire game. So at some point in there, but I mean the position group I'm mostly looking at is running back. I'm like, that should be our bread and butter this year. I get it that Mensa to be a great quarterback and everything like that, but we could really kind of what you want to say, play possum on teams or throw something at them that they ain't seen from us all year long because of how stacked our running back room is. You run the ball. We could do that literally for the first half of the season. Run into the second half of the season and unleash the passing game with Mensa and those receivers. You know what I mean? Like, or vice versa. So I'm thinking the running back room should be our bread and butter. I think Mark Fletcher gonna be unstoppable. We already know Charmont Brown. He be real deal. Pringle, Lyle, like people, trying to, sink him or whatever. But I'm like, the dude was hurt last year. Like he was, but he's back this year. And I remember y'all was saying something about how big his legs is. That's
my God.
This don't really bring up a point about Barry Sanders. What that part of what made Barry Sanders so great? Look how big that dude's legs was, man.
It had to be to take that pounding behind that terrible team he played for years and still finished the best rusher ever, in my opinion. I mean, he may not have it because he retired and Emmett got it that way, but we all know who the true best running back of all time is, and it's Barry Sanders in college and NFL. Hands down. So I got something for you guys. And this has been what I brought up last week. And if you missed the show last week, definitely go back and watch. Do you want to know the only thing that concerned me? And it was so apparent in the national championship game and at times is that Dimples needs to understand, look at all these players we've highlighted. Call the damn play with the right person out there. If you need 1 yard, get your big ass running back
Don't
in
get
there.
me started,
You know what I
Stallion.
mean?
Please, you
But it's
know
the
how I feel
truth,
about
though.
him. I'm trying to go into another season being nice on Dawson.
And you don't need to be, because let me tell you something. That son of a bitch needed to run behind that offensive line. Look at these studs, man, honestly. And you abandoned the running game within the first quarter because you're trying to get back a first round. I mean, run behind the damn offensive line. That Indiana defensive line would have been hogging air by the third quarter with all their stunting and bullshit. I mean, honestly, they didn't want none. We just ran out of time. That was the problem. You play that second half like you did the first half, we already are national champs, and everybody's pissing their panties.
Exactly.
Honestly.
With Mark Fletcher ran that, what was it, about a 54-yard touchdown on that counter?
Yes.
In the third
Second
quarter.
play of the game. Second play of the second half. Yes.
Third quarter. After not getting no touches after his initial 9-yard gain in the first quarter, second play of the game.
Yeah, I couldn't believe that we wasn't running that more. I was like, how in the world are you not running this more when you clearly see our offensive line was the biggest key to him pulling off that run? Like they couldn't handle our guys moving like that. Because again, these pounds in motion now, they ain't just standing just straight up pushing you backwards. They running. You know what I mean?
And instead of going downfield, if Beck's arm is still questionable, why didn't you get it into space? Marty Brown could have taken off, or Pringle, or even Fletcher. You know what I mean? Forget Tony running naked down the middle of the field, and we're trying to go for the home run. Man, just get this ball in space and let these boys eat, man. That's what you got to do. Let them run their legs.
Tony is still open on the underneath drag, man. I'm seeing that in nightmares, man.
I hate to say I hate to do this to our team, man, but you know, Beck might need to be investigated. Was he on some Brendan Sorensby shit?
No, that was Bowman. That was Bowman. I mean, I will say this much. I want to know Georgia. I will troll Georgia for a second, by the way. When they lose their first damn game this year, is Carson Beck going to be blamed, even though he's at Arizona, possibly being their starter or whatever by then? I mean, I'm just throwing that out.
Wait a minute. Wait. Carson Beck in Arizona. I gotta update y'all, man. I heard he's not looking too good, man. They said he can't complete shit.
Really? Ooh,
I read that earlier this week, man. They said that when they had the rookie OTAs or whatever, he was off, and I looked at it. I said, well, some things never change. How Tupac said, some things will be the same. That's just the way it is.
That's it. That's just the way it is.
Last week that he was balling. You know, man.
Maybe he changed it up. The report I read was that he couldn't complete shit.
You know what the scary thing is? Could you imagine if we had gotten Mensa? Because remember that we settled with Beck at the end there, but we wanted Mensa all along. I mean, I don't know where Narduzzi gets this bullshit that like, oh, Duke, you better watch out. He sounded like such a clown at the ACC Media Days with those damn dark glasses that he wears like he's Paul Reiser from damn Dave Letterman show playing his keyboard. That scumbag. I mean, honestly, and he's such an Italian little rat. And he's like, well, I called Manny. And I'm like, well, why don't you guys go play Ring Around the Rosie and Monopoly if you all are such good buddies? You know what I mean? I hope we hang 60 on both those damn teams when they come to the Rock this year.
Can I say something real quick about that? Yeah. You're getting, when you get that kind of feedback and shots thrown at Miami, do you know what that tells me?
They're scared. They're
scared, and they know they don't have a snowball's chance in hell of even getting back near the top of the ACC. The team that I'm looking at that I think is going to eventually rise to the top to be in the top of in the league in Miami, Miami's challenger, is going to be Virginia Tech, going to be the old Big East rivalry. James Franklin, one thing I got to give him, he may not be able to win a natty, he may not win that big game as per se, but he can get the most out of his team. He can get up there near that 9-10 win mark every year. And at Virginia Tech, he don't have all of that pressure he had at Penn State. So
and he finds players, Larry.
Yeah.
You talk about evaluating talent, man. This guy can find something out of a rock, under a rock, you know, under the ocean, and he'll make a damn player and get him drafted. Honestly, you know, Penn State's going to regret what the hell they had. I mean, who the hell do they think they are, man? You know, all those years that they allowed that damn pedophile to be roaming the locker room and everything like that, and covered that up or whatever. Like, who the hell do they think they are? Honestly, you know, we are Penn State, we are, should be in jail, but go ahead. So,
Yeah.
He was
honestly.
more fit for Virginia Tech than he did for Penn State. I never really thought he looked like a Penn State guy like that, but he
Right.
Tech
Right.
Yeah.
to fit him, from just a look standpoint.
Yep.
But I mean, I'm excited, man. And, we got, like I said, Miami Media Day tomorrow and
Could be
Tuesday,
huge.
stars, man. And so, I'm just looking forward to it. Again, the SEC lovers, they want the national championship back in the SEC. But I'm like, it ain't gonna happen. I don't even think
No.
the SEC team is gonna be in the national championship game once again. I think in the regular season, I'm gonna say that I think we're gonna lose to Notre Dame.
Mm.
We're gonna get our get back on them in the national championship. So I think the national championship is gonna be Miami and Notre Dame.
I'm with you. That's what it should have been last year if they wouldn't have been slurping on Alabama to get them in there. If they'd have put Notre Dame in there instead of Alabama, Notre Dame would have met up with Indiana, would have beat Indiana, and then Notre Dame and Miami would have rematched last year. Same thing. That's
Just
what
like
it would have
what
been.
Notre Dame knocked out Indiana 2 years ago, if you remember. Yeah.
Yes.
I mean,
Yes.
yeah.
Yes. So I really believe they knew what they were doing. And then they try to make it like Miami didn't deserve to get in, even though we had the head-to-head and was hot and had 3 or 4 common victories better than with Notre Dame. They made sure that they had to slip Alabama in there, knowing Alabama didn't. Hey, come on, man. You got your ass handed to you by Georgia. There's no way in the world you should have been in there.
No.
They had that game on the other day on the
I saw
SEC
it.
network, and I watched it, and they were so bad. It was like, how in the world did you think that was one of the 12 best teams? I mean,
Right.
forget the 2 group of 5 assholes. That was garbage in itself. But I'm like,
Right.
how in the world? I mean, let me tell you this. Vanderbilt would have been a better option in there if you had to put an SEC team in there
Yes.
with Pavia in that group. They couldn't play defense, but they damn sure could score.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I mean, Jesus. So,
People, rank it on Miami by lose, but I'm like, SMU did not beat Miami. The referees cheated us out of that game.
that was one of the worst called games I've ever seen. Guys, you talk about shenanigans and that shit. That was one of the worst called games I've ever seen.
Oh, it was
Ever.
horrible. I was
Ever.
there, and I couldn't believe it. I was like, these referees need to be investigated. And they give us our pass interference call. We get the ball right at the goal line. We wouldn't even have to score a touchdown or anything. Take a knee, the game is over. That's exactly what would have happened.
Or what about this? What about this, guys? Look, whether Marquise Lightfoot, was too rough and didn't listen to the whistle and they gave that 15 yards, you take that off there, they're not kicking that field goal and we win in regulation. That's the scary thing about it. But every little ticky-tack thing Miami did. What about the guy that was supposedly a legal man downfield? That was bullshit. We had the first down and we run the clock out. They wouldn't have even gotten the punt back. I mean, there was shenanigans right there. And the truth of the matter is that the ACC, you hear that jackass Jim Phillips 3 weeks ago talking about, look at our media numbers. Take out Miami, man. Nobody watched those guys. Nobody watched.
Miami held it down for the ACC when the ACC didn't hold it down for Miami, because we went over that on this show. We went over it on Utah. The ACC at the time had an opportunity with that bogus tie system or whatever they had going on. They did not have to allow Duke to play in the ACC championship. They could have went and had the highest ranked ACC team play Virginia in the ACC championship. Miami should have been in there because Duke never played Miami. You could have put them in. That's how much they didn't even care about Miami. But then you want to ride Miami's coattails when they get to the national championship, and you figure like you're going to hold your banner up for the ACC, but you didn't hold your banner up for Miami. So what I say is this. I do believe after that fiasco last year, you're not going to get as many bad calls because everything got highlighted. Everything was on the refs. They got exposed. Phillips got exposed for being a doofus of a damn commissioner for the league. I think Miami is going to have a better showing when it comes to the refs and officiating this year. So we have to. But yeah, they dropped the ball last year, dude. It's just crazy. Yeah. And then Notre Dame's got the audacity to think, well, we're affiliated with the ACC and everything but football. We need you to fight for us to get us in. And I mean, at least he told them no, like I said, and then they got mad, took their ball and went home and didn't even want to play in the bowl game.
Yep.
Yep. And how sorry was that? I mean, how sorry was that, honestly? But like you said, Larry, yeah, they should have been in there, and I would have loved to have danced with them one more time and kicked their ass the
Yes.
second time.
Yes.
Yep, honestly, yeah. I mean, honestly, Brandon, you might be right, but realistically, I've got $50 on Miami right now. I took it with 8 points or whatever like that, and I was like I said, I hope it's 14, and it could be weather, it could be there could be injuries, there's all sorts of things, but realistically, they lost their best player in my opinion, and we held that guy to 37 yards. And like somebody said, this defense has the potential to be better because we really didn't know what we were getting in Jacoby Thomas and Keontae Scott. They balled out, but I think this group has a lot to prove because they know how hard it felt when we let one out there against Indiana. They know.
Absolutely.
So, I mean, yeah. I mean, they do. So
I think this next wave of defenders that we have coming in, definitely in the secondary. I think they're better than what we had before.
I do too. I mean, this JJ Dunnigan guy, he's built like Sean Taylor. I'm not saying he's Sean Taylor. That guy was a 1 in a million. Rest in peace. But I'm telling you, the guys we're recruiting are big. I mean, Dylan Day is a big target. If you remember, he got kicked out for targeting on special teams last year in the Florida State game. And you watched that guy contribute this year, honestly. You know, Zachariah Poyser really came on there in that, especially in that Texas A&M game. He did great, you know. So
Xavier Lucas coming back.
Lucas. I mean, we didn't have him for a half, and that would have been helpful.
And I think that was a difference, you know, in that game as well, you know, on the defensive side. And like I said before, Ethan O'Connor, I know he got ragged and shitted on a lot for those back shoulder throws, but you got to remember, he was a freshman. It was a big moment. I don't fault him. He still played solid when his number was called the rest of the year, and I think he's going to have a personal point to prove to everybody, probably more to himself than everybody, because he, deep down inside, I think he knows that if he would have been able to play any kind of defense on those 4th and 5 calls or whatever, on those back shoulder throws, look where Miami would have been. Now, I'm not putting it on him. Obviously, it was a total team effort and a loss, but he had his part in that team effort of the loss, just like Bauman did, you know, when his check cleared and all of that, just like Carson did.
No one was worse than Bauman in that game.
Bauman was the one.
Dimples and Bauman both got collectively nothing from me, honestly.
Yeah.
Piss on both those guys. Heatherman, and let me tell you something, with that Mad Viking on the sideline, Corey Heatherman, I can't wait to see them eyes and everything like that. That Mr. Intensity right there, man. You know he's going to get them dudes eaten. Honestly, whether Hayden Lowe wants to be a part of it or not, I've heard some things. I don't know what's going on with that, but can we as Miami fans agree on something? You know, last year what bothered me the most was all about what about JoJo Trader? Listen, there's a reason why JoJo Trader's not here, and somebody mentioned it earlier. I think it might have been our guy Jay right at the beginning. You look at Dylan Opshaw. I mean, that guy. Josh Moore. I mean, wait till we see Josh Moore. We haven't had a receiver like that in a while. And I'm going to give a name out there for wide receivers that I think is going to break through being one of the true freshmen. And I could be wrong, but Samarian Wingo, baby. I love that kid.
Wingo's getting a lot of
hype. Guy is going to be the freshman that really turns some heads. I really believe that. And then these other two transfers, Cam Vaughn. And you know what? I'm happy to have Vandravius because guess what? He don't have Lenora Sellers throwing him the ball. He's got Darian Mensah, who had 4,000 yards on Duke, guys. On Duke last year. Come on. So, yeah.
Like kind of, you know, back to JoJo, you know, sometimes being home may not be, you know, the such a good thing for everybody. You know what I mean? It may not work out that well. I don't know, you know, whatever transpired with him. I just know that, you know, he had a lot of talent. They gave him number 1 for a reason. That ain't for no, like, you know, no, just a number they just give away. They gave that dude number 1 for a reason, bro. Like that, that means they saw something in him. You know, why he didn't, you know, either, I don't know, live up to it or something with bad, you know, between him and, you know, the coaches or something like that and, you know, cause him to not play, you know, I don't know. But, you know,
All those Chaminade Madonna guys didn't work out. I mean, it sucked we didn't get Jeremiah, but even the DB, like Frederic balled out, but the other one was dismissed for behavioral issues, and everything. And it's just like, I don't know what was going on at Chaminade Madonna, but the American Heritage kids have worked out. The St. Thomas kids that we've brought in have worked out. The Carroll City, Booker T, Central. I mean, those guys are balling out, West Broward. I don't know what the hell was going on at Chaminade Madonna, because that was a hell of a team that year. They won their state respectively. So
he wanted to be here. I mean, still wants to be at Miami. We'll see if it ever leads back. But but man, I actually heard that Wesley Bassett could be thinking about coming back.
I was going to actually bring that up because he didn't get drafted, if I'm not mistaken, right? Or he didn't make a team. So he could technically come back if he wanted to. I'm sure he's in football shape still. But do we want to go up that tree? Because I know he pissed me and Larry off probably as much as Dimples did at times.
And listen. His mama, no disrespect, but his mama hates me because 2 years ago when that defense wasn't doing good and his mama was in one of them groups and all of that, and I was going off on the defense as a whole, she got mad at me. And that lady literally said, why don't you appreciate what they're doing? They're doing everything and laying everything out for you guys, for you fans, and you don't appreciate them. I said, they ain't doing nothing but laying down. And I mean, she blocked me. So like I said, I don't know what the hell to say about that. So
I really believe a preschool could have scored on that defense, especially with that jackass that was our defensive coordinator. And God knows why he got a job. I mean, that guy he was atrocious. He was absolutely awful. Terrible. Brandon, real quick, brother. So you like the running back room. Is there a position group that you're concerned about going into this year, brother?
I mean, be honest with you, not on the field.
I hear you.
If anything, I was have to say special teams. That's Miami football. You have got to have an explosive, return man. Either kick return, punt return, or something like that. It's good what Mario is doing, but I'm like, bro, you lacking with the special teams. One thing we always had when we was great was the great return guy somewhere in there. Kevin Williams, you know what I'm saying? Way back to then. Brett Perriman, all them boys. Man, bro, how do we not have the special teams up to par to where we get a play or two every freaking game like it used to be, So that concerns me, you know what I'm saying? But I mean, my main concern, is just coaching. We got to do it 2 years in a row, okay? We can't do what happened last. I'm like, man, let's see, you got to do this again, this year and keep it high. We ain't gonna have no slip ups and all this and that. I know Pittsburgh could end up being good this year, but we better not lose to Pitt. We better not lose to Clemson. We better not lose to Florida State. You know what I mean? Nothing like that. Better not happen. We better take care of this as we're supposed to.
I agree. With all the talent that you have, and the only reason I'm highlighting the kickers and punters is because this is why I love Dylan Joyce, but I don't think he needs to punt at all. And Jack Olson or Jake Weinberg, whichever of those two transfer kickers, this is what your damn job is going to be with this offense if it reaches its potential and Dimples doesn't screw it up. I mean this when I say this. All they need to do is kick extra points and kick the damn kickoff through the end zone. That's the only thing that I want to hear about the kickers. And the only reason Dylan Joyce punts is because Judd Anderson or Luke Nickel or even Darion Coleman just couldn't move the offense against their first string in the fourth quarter. That's the only damn reason I should hear those guys' names, because this offense is potent enough to score every damn time they touch the ball, and they should want to score and keep scoring, and then the backups go in and you pick it up and you keep doing it. I mean, Larry, we talked about it off camera. That interview that Quatrine Hill gave talking about that on the Nevin Shapiro show, man, he said, we came in because our job was to make the defense better on the scout team, and then when we got to play on Saturdays, we wanted to keep pouring it in. Defense didn't want to allow a point, and offense wanted to keep scoring points, and when you do that, that's when you're Miami is that back shit. Anyway, go ahead.
Melvin Bratton always says that every time he gets an opportunity with us, he gives his account of what it was when they were there, and it was Green Tree back for them was wars, and it actually had them. It was literally iron sharpening iron, and it had them to where when it was time to play in real games, like the competition, the Canes were so amped up and just so precise from those green tree battles that in a real game, they were just levels above. And that's why they dominated for so many years, and that's why everything got started in the 80s and they passed. And what I like about that, they passed that tradition down to the teams that as they got into the 90s, and they had that little slow period, and then it matriculated when Butch got there. And let's be real, I mean, computers got us in 2000, Terry Porter and Ohio State and the refs got us in 02. I can make a case that 2004 when they lost that game to Georgia Tech. They lost that game to Georgia Tech after the hurricane. The hurricane or whatever. I mean, that could have been a national championship run. Probably should have been a national championship run if they don't lose that game to Georgia Tech. I mean,
I mean it. I mean it that even if Frank Gore doesn't get hurt, he don't get run down by Tennessee like Jared Payton did.
Absolutely.
Those are just facts. I'm sorry.
Absolutely.
I love Jared Payton, but those are just facts. Frank Gore, it was proof in the pudding. And when Quatrine Hill was asked who he thought was the best running back of all of them, he said Frank Gore had something that you just couldn't teach.
Yep.
And that's why he overcame 2 ACLs. He ain't mortal,
Absolutely.
man, to come over 2 ACLs. The surgery's gotten better, but when you had one, you were done. That guy overcame that.
Stallion, real quick, Stallion, just think about those guys. Think about McGahee overcoming the leg injury to get to the league in the national championship. And then look at Gore with 2 ACLs.
Yep.
That just goes to show what kind of animals and what kind of dogs you had right there.
Yeah.
Clinton Portis, I mean, I was watching and it really hit me. He did an interview some time back, and it came out that he just, after Sean, he just didn't have it anymore. Like he just, and I mean, understandably
Oh,
absolutely.
so. But, absolutely. Yeah. And can I say this? Yeah. Talk about Mel B. Honestly, when you know that they're fighting each other, I mean, listen, brothers fight, man, but here's the thing. You have dogs that are fighting each other because they want that meat, baby. That's what they want. We don't got choir boys. Listen, you can be a choir boy in the streets, but when the lights come on and the clock is ticking from 60 down to 0, I expect you to beat the absolute shit out of who's across from you. I don't care what their uniform says. Honestly.
Yep.
And that's what it is. Saturdays was the fun days, as Mel B said. And honestly, I think that Butch got it because he was an assistant on Jimmy's staff back then. And Mario, obviously, as a grad assistant, saw it, not only with Butch, but also with when he was big-time O-line coach with Saban in Alabama.
Yeah.
They beat each other up in practice because they knew somebody was going to take my spot if I didn't ball out. And and look at this recruiting class, man. These guys, I mean, I heard about this kid that's having some issues with Georgia. He was a guy that Kirby wanted, and I hope he gets everything figured out, and I hope he comes back, but he's taking a year off for mental health. That's fine. At least it's not a distraction. I respect that. But the truth of the matter is there's going to be some guys that may say, I might want to get to play, but damn, dude, you'll get to play if you've got it. Earn it in practice, and you never know. Right. Injuries happen, man. It sucks, but we need the next man up because that showed in that championship game. We were paper thin. This year's group and next year's group, I don't think we're going to be paper thin when the big games happen because you are playing practically a 16 or 17 game schedule nowadays.
Yeah,
man,
absolutely.
So
Absolutely.
It's not 11 or 12 no more. It ain't.
Right,
so,
right.
I mean, so, but, that's what I got. I mean, and Brandon lost his connection. I mean, if anybody else wants to come on, I mean, we'll go for a couple more minutes. Larry, what position group would you, I mean, you mentioned the offensive line, and I want to highlight them real quick. And I know you guys are going to talk more about it on Friday night. And I can't wait to hear what everybody's thoughts are, whether it's you guys or the chat or anybody that comes on or anything like that. But, you look at this offensive line, though, man. I mean, these guys are just built different. And like you said, in Mario and Maribel, they weeded out a lot of shit. We didn't have an offensive line
Yeah.
when Mario first got here. And
Yeah.
look at this, man. I mean, look at these guys. And whoever the new strength and conditioning coach, forgive me, his name escapes me. He's doing things that I wished Juicy and all his garbage had done, which was just a joke.
Right,
that overrated Seamus bastard.
Yeah.
But honestly, but you look at our guys, man. They're eating good. The psychologist is working. The guy that they hired from the Florida Panthers. I mean, the nutritionalist specialist. Everybody that they have hired, this is a well-oiled machine, and this is what happens when you actually invest. You've got a president that wants us to win. We've got a new athletic director that's going to keep it going, and they want to win in all the sports. Obviously, we focus on football here, but that is how we know that it's right. And I don't even know why we kidded ourselves for so many years, Larry, if we were in denial, if we were hoping for a prayer. But realistically, Donna Shalala was the worst thing that ever happened to the University of Miami. Honestly, nobody can tell me different. So,
right. Yeah. That's true. That's true. Absolutely. Facts.
I mean, the fact that you almost had Butch Davis come back and he wanted to come back, he knew he messed up, and you're going to hold that against him. And you basically, let him go to North Carolina. And no, he didn't do great at North Carolina, but if I remember correctly, he beat us every time. He
had some 8-win teams at North Carolina. I mean, he did great for what North Carolina had to offer.
Yep.
He was never going to win a conference championship or a national championship, but for North Carolina to win 8 games and beat Miami, imagine what Butch would have did if he came back to Miami with resources, bigger name, bigger brand, and have access to better players.
Exactly.
I don't know if he'd have won a national championship, but Miami definitely would have been, much more respected than they were in that time period. So,
and he was pulling guys. He pulled Marvin Austin and Gio Bernard, who we had our eye on, and Randy was trying to get them, and they went to Butch and balled out against us every damn time they played. I mean, it just so happened. Marvin Austin was #1 defensive tackle that recruiting cycle. So, but I'm just saying that, like, it's different. And I mean, we suffered through this, guys. We as Canes fans deserve this because of the bullshit we had to put up with, the U being thrown down. I want us to kick every team's ass. Next week, I'm going to go game by game. And honestly, yes, things can happen. We've talked about that, Larry, but there is no reason why we drop against a team that we should be better prepared coaching-wise and player-wise, personnel, and execute. Go ahead.
Miami has the better, and I dare, look at everybody on our schedule. I don't see Miami getting on the short end of the stick as far as having a team with a better group of coaches that they're going to face. I don't think Miami is going to see a team that has a deeper or better roster. And I just think that if Mario can do what he did after the SMU game and let his coordinators do their job, be the CEO. This is what Nick Saban did.
Yep.
Do what you learn from your sensei. Be the CEO. Let your coordinators do what they're there for. And hey, man, you saw what happened when he did that. I mean, Miami went on an unbelievable tear in them final 4 games. And listen, I was happy when they qualified and got into the playoffs.
Oh, me too.
And I'm not going to lie to you. I was hoping for the best. I always say on YouTube, hope for the best, but be prepared for the worst. Mm-hmm. I really was expecting Texas A&M to not throttle us, but I figured it was going to be tough. Mm-hmm. And I was okay with Miami getting in, being one and done, because it was progress. Mm-hmm. That alone would have been good enough for me at the time, considering where they had not been for the previous 20 years.
Yeah.
But when they went in there and dealt with the elements and was able to get that victory and was able to pull down that doggone interception to seal A&M, and obviously, I think we were all emotional for that Ohio State game because of the history and the hatred that we got. And then Jeremiah didn't help with his words going into the game. And then when they were able to do what they did, and I know I give Carson Beck a lot of hell last year, but I go back and watch that Ole Miss game.
Oh man.
And I still get goosebumps. I still get chills on that last drive when Carson Beck is looking to throw and there's nothing, and he just scampers into that end zone. And when they throw that interception, and you can hear the announcer, the commentator said, "And Miami is going home to play for a national championship," even though I know the end result. I just feel so good as a Canes fan because we hadn't had that feeling or been in that position for 20 plus years.
Yep.
And every time we got close, every time it looked like Miami was turning around and getting an opportunity to get somewhere, something crazy happened. I felt great in 2017.
Mm-hmm.
And then the Pitt game for Thanksgiving weekend, Jeff Thomas is still open.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Oh, yep.
And then you had the Clemson. You know, Clemson got us in the ACC championship, and then we got bent over and rough rammed by Wisconsin. Wisconsin in the bowl
in
game.
the Orange Bowl, in our
In
own
the Orange
home,
Bowl,
in
at
our
home.
own home. Yeah, yeah. And there's that play you're talking about. I mean, and listen, the fact that not only is he running in, but you got Cam Ward putting his arms up right there. That right there was this shot right here, and the Jacoby Thomas saying to CJ, "Come get some" or whatever, and then just knock it. I mean, those two shots right there were like, it feels different. It feels different. And you're right, man. I mean, we have suffered through this, and we got some fool's gold. Even that COVID year with De'Aaron King, the little bit of excitement he gave, you know, or whatever. I mean, and especially with what we had suffered through as a country, as a world, you know, and everything like that. It was a great distraction, but you knew something was just missing. But Mario has done what he needed to do. And I'm going to tell you this. He was standing out there. He saw Signetti in Indiana, you know, celebrating. And there's just something that happened, and something changed in him. And I don't know who had the conversation with him before. If it was the Syracuse game, I don't know what it was, Larry. But I'm going to tell you this: he was a complete different coach from the NC State game on. He was, and he needs to continue that and not go back to his old ways. And Mark Fletcher and these guys that also were standing out there, not liking what Indiana was doing, celebrating, getting insulted. You know, I mean, listen, that's what you need to remember and you need to see. And maybe we get lucky and play Indiana and get to give one to them on the chin on the way back to that national championship. You know, dethrone them. Let's prevent them from going back to back. You know, and whoever's in our way. Honestly,
you got a very healthy mix here. Something else that I don't think anybody else has really highlighted. I want you to think about this. You have a healthy mix of guys that are coming back that were this close. I'd say about 80% of the team is back, because you only lost a handful of guys to the NFL in graduation.
Mm-hmm.
And then you've got an influx of guys that are coming in that saw what Miami did, that want to be a part of something special.
Yes.
Mensah and Barcade, they might have won the ACC championship, but that's been their ceiling. Omar Thornton, what the hell did he do at Boston College? Nothing. Damon Wilson, what the hell did he have an opportunity at Missouri? Nothing. You've got all the Jacobs coming in, I believe, from South Carolina. You've got all these guys that are transferring in. They saw how close Miami was, you know, and it's just the idea that, okay, you got a healthy combination of coaches and players from last year that were right there, that got it on their mind. Players coming in, what can I do to help get over this so I can be a part of this? Because it was awesome watching. Because think about it. Even though we lost, and even though Indiana was the national champions, we were the best of the rest, because all eyes on us that night. I mean, I got my LSU friends and a couple of Alabama and Ohio State people. They were talking all that yin-yang to me, but guess what? Like I told them, you can't say nothing about me because you were on the couch. You were watching us play for a national championship. So, Miami, you guys choked. Carson Beck choked. Yeah, maybe he choked at the end, but guess what? You were watching Miami choke. I bet you would have rather been in that, and your team would have rather had your team playing that night. So the tide has turned. The tide has turned. And all we got to do, to your point, to what you just said a little while ago, Mario, whatever you did to change, stay doing what you did. And to Cat Daddy's comment from earlier, I agree.
Yeah, I agree with that too. I
Foot
agree with that too.
on the gas. You know what? Don't have no games close and don't have no mercy. Beat the hell out of everybody. Pull like an Oregon. Oregon in the regular season is usually throttling everybody. Do
Mm-hmm.
it. Do it.
Yep.
40 to
Yep.
nothing, 50 to 10. Everybody just do it.
Mm-hmm. And let me tell you this. I like this comment right here. It is going to be forever
Yeah.
F Indiana,
Yeah.
especially that dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, because let me just tell you this. There's
That
a
was
way to
wrong.
win, and then you're going to be a bitch like that and insult
Yeah.
somebody who just lost their father barely a year ago. Kiss my ass, dude.
Yeah.
Honestly,
Yeah.
you know, win
Classless.
with class. You know, and let me just tell you this. Speaking of what you were saying, Larry, I'm going to start this, and everybody that's watching and listen to this, because at the end of the day, I've even had some non-Miami fans tell me, at the end of the day, you guys were the second best team because nobody really gave Indiana a game. Yeah, Penn State, whatever. But I'm going to tell you this right now. Look at the ridiculous predictions before that game. I wanted all these people to eat the biggest dick ever
Yeah.
because of look at this disrespect right here. Peter Burns, 38-17, kiss my ass. Forrest Gump Connolly, 34-14. Mike Corey, 45-27. 31-17. Heather
Yep.
bitch Dinich. I can't stand her. 35-24, and then running her mouth. Stick it sideways. Matt Austin, 35-17. Kyle Banagara, 35-21. Tom Hart, 35-13. Who the hell is Alyssa Lang, 35-17? Eli Letterman should never be allowed to ever predict another football game again, 41-10. All of Andre Ware still butthurt that we kicked his ass when he was on that Houston team years ago, 31-17. I mean, all of these people should be ashamed of themselves because we weren't that, man. We almost pulled it off, and you all would have had to eat the biggest dick, especially Dinich, for that prediction. Honestly, that's the only thing that still keeps me up at night, that we were that close just to make those assholes all eat their words, and we're going to make each and every one of them eat it this year. The thought that they think that Miami's not going to be a player and going forward. Andrew Ivins already sees it. He sees that Miami's about to go on a run. And I almost feel like, maybe we felt sorry indirectly and knew we were about to go on a run. But damn, I wanted Bane and CeCe to get that ring because they took a chance on us, man. They could have gone to Alabama because Saban was still there. And but they took a chance on Mario, and they opened the door. And it's kind of like how Dan Morgan and Santana and Reggie and I hope Damian does get one as a coach. He didn't get one as a player, but like was said by Chris, it sucked that those guys didn't get one, but Ed Reed came back to get that ring, and I hope Fletcher and these guys do get rewarded the way that our boys got screwed because of, like you said, the damn computers. Let me see what else we got here. Oh man, I was gonna light everyone up on social media had we won. Indiana's been irrelevant since the beginning of time. You're right. Listen, the sun shines on a dog's ass every now and then, man. Honestly, and literally look at their basketball program, which was their bread and butter. It's dog shit. It really is. They're taking Duke leftovers with their NIL deals. Honestly, we have so many great young players. We're so deep. Kids will want to stay and not transfer if they get to play. The rule is no. Since the red shirt has been phased out, more kids can play more games. You're right. Absolutely. And with 17 games, you are going to need. And I'm going to say this, guys, and this might be an unpopular opinion. Larry, back me up. I would love to know what Mel B and everybody else thinks, and you can bring it up on Friday night, is that if a dude can play, we may only have him for 3 years anyway. So get that boy out there. Honestly, that's the thing. If he's not ready, he's not ready. But go ahead.
You will see. I've predicted this on You Talk, and I'll reiterate it here. You will see Luke Nickel or whoever is looking like they're charging for that second QB spot this year that may be the heir next year. Should Mensa go pro? You're going to see a lot of QB2, I think, this year in mop-up time.
Yeah.
Because Miami's going to be head and shoulders better than all of the competition. I expect Miami to be pulling Mensa at the beginning of the third quarter most games. Maybe Clemson and Florida State, he might have to ride it out. But Central Michigan, he won't finish. FAMU, he won't finish. All of that. I just feel like because – I saw a podcast, I can't remember who it was, but Mario was giving an indication that they're probably not going portal for a QB next year.
Yeah.
And that means, and I mean, look, I mean, you got Nickel, you got Judd Anderson, you got Darion Coleman, and I think they're recruiting another QB. I think for the 28 class.
Israel. Well, yeah, the 28 class, they're
Yeah.
going after one of the top guys, but Israel will be ready to go. You know, he's
Yeah.
already the top quarterback this year, and a lot of these guys are wanting to play with him, you know,
Yeah.
if he is one of those special guys, you know, honestly.
Yeah.
So for
Yeah.
sure.
So you're gonna have to, and I mean, listen, 3 years in a row with Cam, Beck, Mensah. And if Mensah can do his thing and can go pro, that's 3 quarterbacks in a year that you will have sent to the NFL. What kind of a message does that send to kids in high school that's quarterbacks? Like, yeah, I mean, listen, I've seen the light. I mean, most everybody here that roll with you talk, they know how hard I was on. You know how hard I was on Mario and quarterback development over the years.
Me
But
too.
I'm going to be honest with you. I'm going to be honest with you, James. I mean, Mario, I'm going to give him credit, right? I mean, listen, Mario took a guy that was projected to be a 4th rounder in Cam Ward coming out of Washington State and turned him into the overall number 1 pick.
Yep.
Mario took a guy in Carson Beck that was projected to be maybe 6th or 7th round, whatever you want to call it, possibly not even drafted, coming out of Georgia. And what was he, like a 4th rounder, 5th round or something?
Actually, he was 3rd round. He
Third round.
was early 3rd round, actually. Yeah.
My apologies, Mr. Beck. So if Mensah, and I'm not going to say number 1 overall pick because this may be the best quarterback class that we've seen maybe since the 83 draft. Listen, Sayan and Carr and Manning and Levitt and
Dante Moore. Dante Moore from Oregon's going to have a good year, I'm sure. So
you got to really look at if Mensah can be a top 10 pick. Hell, I'm not going to say top 10. If Mensah can be a 1st round pick, Mario will have gotten 2 first-round quarterbacks in 3 years.
Yeah.
And look at the programs where they came from. Now, yeah, Beck came from Georgia, but you got Cam coming from Washington State who didn't do shit. And then he gets Mensah, who started at Tulane and then comes from Duke. If he can turn those 2 guys that came from lesser-tiered programs to first-round draft picks, what does that say to every quarterback, especially in the South Florida area, in the future?
Yep.
Look what he did, even though they came from other programs. If I go put in the work, guess what I can do? So the taking is there. So we'll see. But I do predict that Luke Nickel, everybody's been talking about, well, what about Luke Nickel? You will see Luke Nickel a lot this year.
And Cam Newton loved him. He was I know however we feel about 7-on-7, but you know, Luke Nickel is a state champion quarterback in Georgia, and Georgia's got some damn good teams down there. You
Absolutely.
know, I mean, I would put them up there with the Floridas and the Louisianas and the Texas and the Californias as those are the 5 best states right there for talent. You raid those states, you should be good to go. I mean, when it's all said and done. And thank you, Proud Cat Dad of 8. Honestly, man, glad to see you guys back ready to go for the season. We're here, baby. We're here. Tomorrow, like Brandon Brock said, tomorrow is going to be the media day where everybody says hello and you can interview. And then Tuesday, I know that they're probably going to start off light with the shorts and the shoulder pads or whatever, and then they'll get the pads on and beat the hell out of each other when it's all said and done. You know, I do want to finish up with Idiot of the Week. Larry, I'll let you go first. You might have the same idiot as me or whatever like that, but who was your Idiot of the Week this week in sports, man? Just curious. So,
I didn't even give it any thought.
We always like this segment, so I got one. But,
I gotta think, man. I've been on the tear and on the go. Geez, man, I really don't know. I know Debo went back to the 49ers. I don't know what the hell that's all about. I got an Idiot of the Week, but I know we like to not. But I'm gonna have to change the rules. I'm gonna have to change the rules if you'll let me, because the main Idiot of the Week that I got, it's not sports related. I'm just gonna say this without saying his name. According to my legal counsel, I refuse to answer that question because the Fifth Amendment. Listen, 111 times that idiot, like you on Capitol Hill. And I'm not trying to get political, but
no,
this is
man.
my idiot. This is my idiot of the week. This is not political. You had a pandemic, and you literally led millions of people. You had mandates where jobs, and I know I'm mad I had to take it because of my job in the airline. You know, we were flying. You had people forced to take this, you know what, because you can't say it on YouTube. And now all of these discrepancies are coming out, and you don't even want to answer questions on Capitol Hill about it. That is insane.
And supposedly your diary said you got sick and you kept that from people, you piece of garbage. Honestly, you know,
yes.
I mean, and in his diary, he's talking about how Julia Roberts made him blush. We're not even talking Pretty Woman Julia Roberts. We're talking about how she looks like rough now. Honestly, you know,
that woman looks like Freddy Krueger now.
She does. He does.
Yeah.
I mean, she looks just like her brother, Eric Roberts.
Yeah.
I mean, and if fright could be frightened, look at that guy. You know,
oh my God.
I mean, honestly, he was a joke. He was a joke, and honestly, I even joked around saying, you know what, I should use that from now on when I'm at my job. If they ask me if I've messed up, I've been told by my legal counsel to exercise my. I mean, what a loser, you know. I mean, golly,
that's crazy,
dude. Yeah, you know, I mean, I just a garbage. No, and listen, we're not getting political. He was an idiot. He was an absolute joke. And honestly, the guy really deserves some type of a jail time or whatever, especially if he lied, honestly. And it looks like he did, honestly.
Yeah.
My idiot of the week. And listen, I know that you love this university for basketball, but we're going to keep it strictly football. And if there's an ass kicking that needs to happen, it's on Halloween when we go to Chapel Hill and go to Kenan Stadium and beat the ever-living shit out of Gold Digger Belichick and that motley crew that they've got over there. I have never seen such a rinky-dink crap of things ever been done over there. You got a guy being now investigated. You also now have a basketball coach that apparently was inappropriate with some of the players or whatever, whether that's here nor there. What the hell is going on in Chapel Hill right now at the University of North Carolina? Because I don't know what they paid for him and all this, but at this point, the only show is to watch his little gold digger get the train ridden on her. That's the only thing worth watching. And I hope that we beat the absolute crap. I hope we beat the absolute crap out of them, because I cannot forget how they were clowning us a couple years ago when homeboy who plays for the Patriots was throwing dimes on us. That shit ain't gonna fly this year. Drake May. But honestly, but what an idiot over there.
Belichick. I don't have an idiot of the. You know, I had mine already, but this wouldn't constitute an idiot of the week, but a question mark. And I mean, it wasn't this week; it was last week. I don't know if I'm pretty sure people in the chat saw. What the hell is going on at Texas and Mississippi State? Did you see those videos?
Oh my God! It's like it's like those two big fat linemen that were doing the Rose and Jack Dawson from Titanic.
It's worse.
I mean, it's like Ray from Scary Movie got invited to be their coach over there, and that's just a movie, Scary Movie 6. If you haven't seen it, Ray J had been over there, man. Honestly, I don't know what the hell was going on
in a million years.
Yes, so
never in a million years would I have even, and that's another thing when it comes to media days. There was a time, like you say, we had those two big behemoths hugging on each other in Miami.
Oh my God.
And to go from that, and Chad, I'm pretty sure Chad, Chris Kane, I don't know if y'all saw it. Just go look up viral Mississippi State players and the viral Texas players. I mean, these guys were man, they were looking like young Miami, man. Spin that shit. Like, it was just so feminine. Like, what the hell are you guys doing, man? I think one guy had fingernail polish and all of that stuff. Like,
he's pulling a Jared McCain or whatever. I don't know what the hell is going on there. Getting TikTok followers or influence. I mean, what is going on, man? I mean, you know, I think the 7-on-7 shit has really softened everybody. All I know is that the dudes that I've highlighted below, I hope that they go out there and kick the ever-living shit out of any of these teams. I hope we get Arch Manning in Texas. I would love nothing more than to smear his ass up and down the field. Rose Bowl, Cotton Bowl, Fiesta Bowl, Sugar Bowl, Toilet Bowl. I don't give a damn, man. We beat the hell out of all of them. Well, but I mean, like I said, man, we've come a long way from celebrating Jimmy fucking Murphy to I mean, and I love little Jimmy. I love little Jimmy, but Jesus, Larry, what in the world did we put up with for so many years? And now it's time for us to do the ass kicking and beat these
Yes.
teams. I mean, like I said, man, I hope we go to Death Valley, piss on all their graves of all the turf that they've taken, even our beloved Orange Bowl, rest in peace, in that 2004 crap thing that they did to us. But I swear to God, man, we have got to beat the hell. We owe all these teams ass whippings. They all are collectively worthless and the enemy to me in some shape, way, or form. Whether we've beaten them before or not, all of them. And nobody was worse than this Bill Belichick thing. I mean, I can't believe that son of a bitch kind of pulled like a Lane Kiffin saying, oh, in 2 or 3 years, we're going to be the destination of where you want to go if you want to make it to the pros. I mean, you can't even get out of the damn, you can't even beat NC State and Duke, let alone you can't even own Tobacco Road, let alone go to the damn NFL. Get the hell out of here with this, man. And what's her name asking for her allowance on the sidelines while he's trying to coach?
The man is like 74, 75 years old. What the hell is he thinking? I mean,
with his son as the coach in waiting, that's worse than Jimbo or when they had Muschamp as the coach in waiting that they had to buy out to bring in Charlie Strong.
Crazy.
And so forth. It's awful, bro. It's awful. Guys, listen, if you haven't hit that like and subscribe button, please do so. I love you all. I'm so glad to be back, baby. Next week, we're going to talk about the schedule. Larry, plug the show Friday, baby. If you guys are going to have one, please support You Talk. So
absolutely, man. Y'all tune in, man. Y'all all are pretty much followers and follow the channel, follow what we do. We'll be back every 2 weeks. This will be the last couple of weeks, and then once the season starts, we'll be back to every Friday. Got to get with AO to see when we'll do the recap show, make sure his schedule is a go. But we'll be back this Friday night, and then that would be, I'm trying to think. What is
I think that's the
7th, correct?
The 7th,
August 7th.
Mm-hmm.
So August 7th and August 21st, we'll be back. And then we'll have our hype show. Of course, Miami does have a Friday night game. So I'm thinking
we got two of them. We got two of them.
Yeah,
this
we got
year,
2 of them. So
and a Thursday game. So it's all crazy.
Yeah, we're gonna. I'll get with D on the scheduling of all of that, but we'll have a hype show. We'll announce everything. So check us out, man. We're almost there.
I let me tell you this. We admit we old, but let me tell you this. This is with the kid on Christmas right here, man.
Yeah.
We're right up against it, baby. I'm ready for preseason freaking football with the Hall of Fame crap next Thursday.
Yeah.
I just need to see something, man.
The last thing I got, Stallion, before we sign off.
Brother. You're good, man. Thank you for being on again.
Oh, no doubt, man. The feeling that I get, because I mean, this is the most surreal feeling. I've been getting this feeling ever since I was a teenager. Super Bowl Sunday, you're all amped up because it's the Super Bowl. You're excited. You're watching the big game. You get to the first quarter, you get to halftime, third quarter. Reality starts to set in for me. It always did around the 2-minute warning, because that's when reality's like, wait a minute. When this game is over, we have no football for 8 months.
Yep.
And thank God now that we have so much access to recruiting, and even with the NFL with OTAs,
the combine and all that,
combine, drafts, all of that stuff. And then on the college side, recruiting and everything else you got there. And then you get to the spring games and all of that. So that kind of helps eases the transition. But man, I tell you, the feeling that I get, especially right now, I think the best feeling for me is that first, not week 0, because week 0 is always like a couple of non-marquee matchups, but it's still good to watch real football.
Yes.
But when you get to the real week 1, college game day on a Saturday morning, even though Corso's no longer on staff, he retired, even though, God rest his soul, Lou Holtz is no longer on television, because I used to love watching him at night. Him and
May, yeah.
Man,
Judge
that
Reed.
was
Yep.
yes.
Yep.
But just to have the panel, and then just to be able, when they go to the 11 o'clock game, and then you can just kind of go through the Fox channels and you go to the CBS channel, even though I'm going to skip it with Brian Kelly, and the night games, brother, football is back, and it's just that feeling. But I'm going to say what I always say every year: enjoy every moment of it, because it's going to pass fast. As fast as it get here, it's going to pass even faster. So,
It is.
man,
It is.
just a
It
great time of
is.
year. But that's all I got, bro.
It is.
That's all I
No,
got.
man, no, listen, and one more thing, guys, if you missed the beginning of the show, appreciate your parents if you still got them. Appreciate your loved ones, whether you're married or not. Just appreciate the people you got here, because it ain't forever, it ain't guaranteed. But more than anything, I want to thank everybody that came on and spoke their piece. You all are always welcome to debate us, whether we're wrong. Call us out. I hope we're not wrong, because we've been wrong in the past, obviously, but we've also been very right and been criticized then too, being too negative, because we have a bar that's been set here, and thank God we now have a coach that understands that bar and hopefully does that. Thank you, Larry Frank. Thank you,
All the
Jay,
time.
Brandon Brock, Chris Kane, and anybody else that participated in the chat. And remember, guys, whether you're on this show or not, be sure to always speak your piece. This is for Larry Frank and the Italian Stallion, signing off till next week. Catch you talk on Friday. We'll be back next Sunday for another awesome episode of Stallion Speaks. We out.
I'm a stallion speaking loud, no chains. From the heat of Miami where we play no games. Boxing gloves down, but my mouth still swings. Trash talk sharp like a scorpion stings. Stallion speaks. Yeah, the truth don't hide. Unfiltered raw. Your late night guy from the ring to the mic where the real collide. Stallion speaks on the untamed tide. Stallion speaks. On the untamed tide. Gloves off mic, I feel the fire ignite. When the stallion speaks, there's no polite. From the edge of the ring to the edge of your seat, I'm the voice that pounds.